Hey, welcome to Two Cents episode 61. This is August 28th, 2016. This is the live undoctored news show we do here at Dollar Reviews. This is a single take. We do not edit. We don't do shit to it, so there's going to be mistakes, hopefully not on my part. I'm Brian Gillis. I was not here last week. Instead, Blake was joined by Steve, or I guess Steve joined by Blake. They held it down for me because I was away. Say hey, guys. Guys, gays.
Gays,
Okay.
guys.
I
Brian,
mean,
just
there
wanna
might be a
say,
bromance there, but I don't think it's at that level yet.
I don't
no,
know.
not
that.
yet.
No.
Just wanted to say thanks for having me back again for another week.
Yeah, howdy,
Yeah.
everybody.
I listened to some of that episode. I mean, who the fuck's going to listen to 2 hours of a podcast? Just saying. Any listeners out there, you guys are
Thank you. You
sadistic.
just ruined all my hard effort that I put in trying to put the damn thing together. But
You
Hey,
said
I'm
it
the one
wasn't.
I
thought
spent
you guys
3
said it
hours
wasn't good.
uploading that shit. So
I spent a
fuck
little
you.
longer than that. I spent about that much every
I was
week. but
waking up at the interval of every hour, just updating Brian and making sure that it got up on time. But
it was a stupid snafu.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
it
It's
got
a
done.
fine
That's
thing.
the point. Hey, how
It
was
did
your
get
episode
done.
off? The one episode that you've had off in this entire podcast?
So this is what we do instead of watching shit like the VMAs, where we kind of talk about things like Mulholland Drive being named the best film of the 21st century so far.
Bullshit.
Basically, they could have been a worse pick. But basically, what we do is we talk about movies, tech, VR, lots of VR, some TV stuff. I really like talking about streaming, China in particular. We don't just do this show, though. We are most known for our Debt to Cinema series. We're going to have an episode of Kindergarten Cop coming out this week that Blake is also on. Other recent things, the awesome Ricky O that I did a pretty badass rap for.
It might be the best thing we've ever done.
That's what I said.
I'm sorry,
It's
not
either
we,
the
because
best or
you
the
did
worst.
it. Like, I honestly, I'm still kind of appalled by what you did to hypnotize, but at the same time,
You're
bravo,
welcome.
sir. Like, you
You're
did
welcome.
it. Holy shit, you did it.
I want to go in there and fix it. But we also did the Red Shoes recently, Catwoman, The Dirty Dozen, Heaven's Gate. The idea basically, it's List of Shame. It's something that me or Steve have never seen, or both of us. And sometimes it's something classic, sometimes it's something trashy, sometimes it's like in between. So it's usually fun. That comes out every Wednesday. We also do Dollar Reviews, the namesake of the show. It's spoiler-free new thing. So we did The Little Prince and Tallulah lately, Suicide Squad, and Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition. We also have Theatrical and A Few Dollars More, which is our spoiler show for that. Swiss Army Man, which is still one of the best films I've seen all year. Finding Dory, Ghostbusters. We've done a lot. That show's existed for about 4 years. And if you want to find any of that, the easiest way is on Facebook or Twitter at Dollar Reviews. We also have WordPress. We're on Tumblr. And then just about any kind of service you can think of. Google Play Music, iTunes, Pocket Casts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, SoundCloud on occasion, even direct downloads. You can torrent our shit legally. It is Creative Commons. So now that we've gone through that, that's the easy part. We're going to talk about the news. So these are the headlines. If I want to do that, just because of the snafu, because it was kind of funny last week,
Really?
you took my raw notes, Steve, and you just read them top to bottom. That's not how I do the show.
No, like I didn't read them top to bottom because I
basically
did
did.
separate them from movies, TV, and streaming. Like, yes, when I separated them, then
Sorta.
they ended up being top to bottom because I had to
What-
fix
what
it
I'm
real quick. But
referring
it's not
to
like I
is
jumped from a movie thing
a
to a
little
VR
bit.
thing and then
You
down to
start
Amazon.
the show
No,
with apparently Brian thinks this is important. The cyborg's going to be in the Flash.
that was
like,
a headline. That was at the top.
No, that's not
So
a headline.
Yeah, it was
That-
above. It was,
know how I
those were two
started?
things that were
No, no.
above like all the stuff that you go
you know
to
how
for the
I
social
just
media.
started?
What?
I said what we do instead of watching the VMAs and Mulholland Drive, the best film of the 21st century. That was above everything. Those aren't the headlines. That's like the little joke to get our listeners' ears wet.
I will still, it was something that Blake was on, and I knew it was
No,
something he
it
had
was
an
a good
opinion
conversation. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. It was just letting you know the way I do this.
I
show,
don't do this. Hey, it was
It's
my
a-
first time out. I
That's
did what I
I'm saying.
could.
It's
I worked
it's
with
a
what I
timely
had.
process. This is how it happens. From Sunday night to Sunday morning, I scrub Twitter.
Sunday night to Sunday morning.
Basically, or Sunday night to Sunday night, a full 7 days.
Oh, okay.
I am addicted to Twitter. I find something I want to read. I put it in my pocket, which is this great thing. There's also something called Instapaper, which is basically the same thing. You take a link, you push it to the cloud, you can read it some other time. I go through there, I read all those articles. I take those articles, I surmise them as best as I can on Google Keep. I take those notes, I save them to my computer, then I organize them for the show. It's a long process. You did a third of it, and it wasn't so bad. Anyway, this is
It was
what's
pretty
important.
hasty to put it all together within the space of what, like I want to say
7
30
days.
minutes. Yeah, by the time that I was figuring this out. Because I
Um,
mean, like, the thing is, you had a party to get to, and
I
I
was already
just,
at the party. I
you
should have.
did say like, "Hey, I'll let you know if I can," and I knew that the next day would be impossible. Sure enough, it was because we couldn't record the next day, and also just I knew you were going to be late if you went to that thing, and we're in a
Oh, no,
totally.
that's the thing.
It's
And
not
it
your
was
problem. It's
perfect.
just we're in a totally different time zone. I'm 2 hours ahead, and I had to work the next day, so that would have inconvenienced me
Well,
big
what's
time.
funny
So that
is
was the reason I made that choice.
you stayed up later than we would have had to stay it up
Well,
if
I
I
woke up at the
recorded.
interval of every hour just to
Even
make
still,
sure
I'm
that the
just saying.
computer was doing its work. So I would get up, I would make sure the computer was doing fine, and then I would go to sleep, and then I woke up again just to see if everything was uploaded yet, and then it wasn't, so I'd go to sleep again, get up an hour later, check, and then it's finally there, throw the episode up, and then I'd wake up and then go to work.
If we're talking about this, I wish we were talking about the candy bar stuff now too. Though.
Yeah, I think the candy bar stuff is way more entertaining than
It
this.
was. It was pretty good. But this first item isn't necessarily entertaining. It's a little scary.
Uh-huh.
It's China. It's something that we talk about almost every single week in some capacity, and it's almost always the Dylon Wanda Corporation. And this week, once again, it is. If you don't know the name, they own AMC Theaters, soon to be Carmike Cinemas, also Lowe's in the UK. They also
How
own.
far into Carmack are like? Is that just a news piece that
I
has
don't know.
died, or are they still in negotiation?
I'm sure it's gonna. Okay, for instance, DreamWorks was, as of like 3 days ago, actually became a part of Comcast. That finalized like 3 days ago.
Hmm.
So these things are not instantaneous. They take time to go through all that stuff. That's not the news item though. It's not about Carmike. So they also own Legendary Entertainment. They're trying to take the world by storm, and primarily with Hollywood. And so what they're rumored to be doing right now is that they're going to prepare two more acquisitions this year. Got to remember they got Legendary, I think in January or February. They've only owned them for like 6 months, 7 months or so. But these two acquisitions are going to be north of $1 billion. And what's crazy about that is that that's going to be like the appetizer for what they're doing next, which is supposedly, drumroll, buying one of the major six Hollywood studios.
What?
Yeah. So they already have a mini major. They got Legendary. They make big tent poles. They were rumored months ago that they could be buying the minority stake in Paramount that Viacom was offering, but that's nothing. That would be 49% of a studio. They said, or someone said that they said that they want one of the majors. So Disney is not possible.
No.
Sony is very unlikely, but maybe
Well, why,
because
just because it's owned by Japan? Is that it?
no, I was going to say Sony. They've only been in the game since the mid '80s.
Yeah, but they
But
don't have that
their
many big
movies,
hits right now.
that's what I was going to say. Their movies are one of their weakest outputs. PlayStation is where they thrive, so they could get out of the movie game. I wouldn't
Well,
be that
yeah,
surprised
like they would sell
if Columbia
Columbia. That's
TriStar,
the thing, right?
yeah, like Columbia TriStar, if they sold those off to Dylon and they just kept Sony Picture Classics, I could see that. Maybe they make PlayStation movies, because
Like
for instance,
Columbia's
like the
going
Ratchet
back
and
to
Clank
Poverty
movie.
Row.
Oh, no, not like that. It's just okay. Besides the cell phone business,
Uh-huh.
movies are what they're least profitable in.
Yeah.
They just do not do it. But yeah, Disney is not likely. Fox is very unlikely because they're a major. Comcast, I don't think so. Viacom,
Universal
I don't
kicked
think
ass
so.
last year, so there's
Yeah,
no way.
well, Universal is possible, especially because Universal's still in bed with Legendary. Warner Brothers, no possibility. So yeah, it's either gonna if this is true, it's probably gonna be Sony or Universal. Not Universal, my mistake. It's probably gonna be Sony
Well,
or
specifically Columbia.
yeah, well, Columbia TriStar. It's probably going to be Sony. Or maybe Comcast gets rid of Universal. But, I highly doubt it, especially not the Olympics. So yeah, time will tell on that. It's crazy. And this is a direct quote from their guy. My goal is to buy Hollywood companies and bring their technology and compatibility to China. They already have, the Dylon Wanda, they have chains of malls, movie theaters. They have theme parks. They're breaking ground on another one this year with like a full-on resort that's going to go head-to-head with Shanghai Disney, which opened like 2 months ago. They started as a real estate magnet, but they're quickly looking to become the media, entertainment, leisure commodity that everyone wants to be. Look at the Disneyland resorts, Universal Studios resorts, and they even have a location already that is going to be a movie studio and a festival location. They've already sold off the apartment housing. So this could really shake up the world, especially with how big the Chinese just box office is now,
Yeah, like
how
with
much
the,
we
the
buy from
Mermaid
China.
just making a shitload. this year?
That made a lot. Like,
Well, that's one of the top-grossing worldwide flicks this year. Like,
you say
I think
that,
it's in the
but
top
if you
10
it's in the top 10, but so is Suicide Squad.
worldwide.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, but The Mermaid is not a flick that did that well in the U.S. That's what I'm
it
saying.
doesn't have to. What I'm saying
No,
is,
that's my point. It's like,
Warcraft was one of the biggest hits in China this year. Like, I think it was actually their biggest hit besides something that was made there.
The
And
Mermaid.
they apparently hate Jason Bourne,
Oh
or at
yeah,
least
well, you know why, right? You read that
yeah, because
article? Yeah.
you don't do bad post conversions
That's
for
a
movies.
horrible idea for that movie. I've seen that movie. Why would you do that?
I
That's
don't know.
beyond stupid.
So are you guys game for this? Are you okay with China coming in and buying the fuck out of a studio? What if they just bought like Lionsgate, MGM,
Well, but that's not one of the big
United
six, though.
Artists? So I'm just saying, what if they bought all the little ones, like the side gigs? They bought all of the small potatoes,
Well, if they bought
and then
Fox
they
Searchlight,
put
then I'd freak out.
well,
But
fuck, I
they
don't think
can't.
Searchlight
No,
would
there's no
work.
way they could do that or Focus Features. But I'm just saying, like,
But that's what I'm saying, though. Imagine they bought like MGM and Lionsgate and Paramount and all of the smaller entities and just repurposed that as their own studio. It's like, it's legendary, it's this, it's that, and it's like the umbrella and just call it Dylon or Wanda. Who's the hottest studio in the world? Dylon, 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 Dylon. They spit hot fire. It's possible. We haven't had something like this happen in a long time. As far as like the closest we've had to this is Disney buying like Lucasfilm and Marvel, but there hasn't been.
yeah, but this is like this is international though. So
Well,
I mean, just
that
because
makes it
it's
bigger.
the thing is like
But
when you say China, there's obviously red flags being thrown up for entertainment
well, that
specifically.
is
Just
their
because
national flag. Yeah,
I'm. What I
I got a
mean
gold
by
star
that, you
for
know what I
that.
mean by that, though, in the sense that like their entertainment is censored. You know, like
It's not
that's the thing
censored.
that scares me.
It's not
personally.
censored. Their thing, they don't have a rating system. There isn't a PG, a PG-13,
No,
or
but
R.
it's
They
government
have a
censored. So, I mean,
singular thing. It's either it's distributed
mhm.
or it's not. If the whole family can enjoy it, no one can enjoy it. And in certain cases, yeah, they cut something to shreds
Or
so
they just
everyone
add
can enjoy
stuff
it.
specifically that if it was shot in China, then you have to have all that footage in there. It doesn't matter if it bogs down the pacing or anything. Like with Looper, that cut is longer in China, but that's only because there's extra stuff that they shot there.
I don't know. You're being real quiet, Blake. What you got to say about it?
This is all real news to me. It's like I had no idea this was happening.
China? Yeah, they're taking over the world.
I had. I knew
Hey,
about
Blake, who's
the.
Edward Snowden?
Fuck you.
I'm kidding.
Who the fuck cares, man? Oh, something actually pretty cool, apparently, for that Snowden movie, the Oliver Stone movie.
Yeah.
Edward Stone's going to do a live via satellite introduction for some of the movies. Pretty cool.
It's got a stamp of approval by him. That's good.
Well, no shit. People are gonna be like, oh, I know who this guy is now. He talks in a monotone, and he also walks between wires in New York. And if he knows how to lose a guy in 10 days, or no, 10 things I hate about you.
Yeah.
No, 500
Content.
Days of Summer.
There you go. Lots of numbers in there.
And 10 things I hate about you.
0 and 1s, and Third Rock from the
Third
Sun. That's a
Rock-
lot of
yeah.
numbers. That's a lot of that is seriously is a lot of numbers.
It
It's like,
is.
can I think of anything else? Mysterious Skin? No.
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 What's that? No. I think that's only numbers in his career. I was gonna say like what was that? Adrenaline Rush? What was that shitty ass movie?
Premium Rush.
Premium Rush? Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
Adrenaline Rush probably would have been a better name, to be honest.
Well, there was no fucking
50-50.
adrenaline in that movie. Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
50-50.
That's a good one.
We should write these down. Make some jokes about this shit. Better jokes.
Oh. Halloween H2O.
Is
was
he in that?
He's the guy
Oh
that
yeah,
gets
he plays Jamie
the-
Lee Curtis's kid, huh?
No, that's Josh Hartnett.
Josh
He plays the kid in the beginning that gets an ice skate in the face.
That's pretty cool.
I got to watch
Yeah.
that movie again now.
Make a list
you
now
don't.
on
Yeah,
Letterboxd.
I liked that movie when I
Movies.
saw it, but then again,
Are
I
you
was
fucking
12
kidding
when I
me?
saw that. So
JGL movie. I liked that movie too the first
Yeah.
time I saw it.
I even
First
like
off, it's-
Halloween Resurrection. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that
No.
one's horrible.
It is
No.
horrible. That's why I like it.
No. Yeah, you have a
No.
tendency to like really horrible movies.
No, that's
Well,
not
we
true
did
though,
just
because
watch
he hated.
Riccio.
That's a good movie.
It's
Wait,
a-
what did he say?
Ricchio's actually really
It
good.
is really
Okay.
fucking awesome, but I mean,
No.
it's a horrible English dub, evidently, and that's how you should watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
No, you should.
Yeah.
You watch for free on YouTube. It's one of those movies that is up there in like 4 different forms that they haven't taken down yet, and that's the way I want everyone to watch it, because you really should not pay money to see it, because it's like it's above the rating system, like it's both a 0 and a 10. Like it's perfect and also horrible at the same time. But it's like it's so good at being bad or so bad at being good that it's perfect. And
It's a
we have
cinematic oddity, and that's exactly why you should watch it.
See, I downloaded it and I was able to get it with the dub and the original undubbed version.
I
So
looked at parts of the dub after we talked about it, and yeah, it's pretty funny.
it's really funny.
Yeah.
Like it's I
Pretty
Yeah,
funny is me underselling it. It's
I
actually
wish
really
it was
funny
one
when
of
I
those
saw.
movies that everyone's seen, so you could quote it. Like, I kick ass for the Lord. Like, I wish it was like something like that, and it's not. You got a lot of guts, or maybe just the quotes wouldn't even necessarily work out of context.
No, but I mean, like, it's one of those movies that you watch with your buddies, like, with a couple beers, and you're just sitting on the couch and laying back, and you're just laughing at all the shit that's being said, and it's...
That's Hong Kong cinema. We're
Yeah.
talking about China. It'd be awesome if the studio they bought made movies like that for China again. Or what if they just got like every major Chinese player out there, like James Wan? Well, I mean, not Chinese, he's Taiwanese, but like James Wan, like John Chu, like all the Asian dudes, and just put them like together at a studio. Like we're the Chinese Hollywood.
it's terrible. Why would you do that?
Just trying to be funny. Trying to offend. I'll just go from that one. I'll also get Joseph Kahn because he's pretty badass. You should go follow him
Yeah.
on Twitter. The guy that directed Power Rangers and like the Taylor Swift video and some
Oh,
other
he
shit.
did Torque, which I think is awesome,
Yeah,
but he
Torque.
also did Detention.
He's done.
Detention
like,
was pretty good.
Yeah,
His
he's
tweets
a,
over the last week are awesome.
like, even if
He's
you don't
built-
like his stuff, he's a really good personality. Like, his tweets are good, and he's just a very insightful guy to listen to.
and Power Rangers is kick ass. Like I wish
I
that
wish I liked
that
it more.
reboot movie. James Vanderbeek's in that thing, so
I know you love it.
given. But if that reboot movie is even half as gritty as that thing was, it should
It
be a
won't
ball
be.
park. It should be hit out of the park.
Max Landis, I don't know. You never know.
No,
No,
it's not.
he's
They're
barely
already
walked
like
that.
talking about how it's more of like a teen drama YA type shit.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
what the show was, though, so it makes sense.
It
is
was, but I mean,
staying
it's
true
like-
to its roots.
You know, this is one of my main problems that I've had with either TV shows getting a reboot or anything rebooted.
Anything.
I feel that
You're gonna love
if
this.
you're
is-
going to make it gritty, actually make it gritty and make it really different. One of my main complaints that I feel has been with Spider-Man and the constant reboots is we've all seen Peter Parker in high school in
No, we
what?
didn't. No, we didn't.
Yeah, we have.
No,
For
he was
snippets in
not.
Spider-Man 1, yeah, that
Yeah.
was high school.
In the
In
first
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
1,
and in
he was-
Amazing Spider-Man, he was in high school, but not really, really. Like this is
But
called
he's-
Homecoming. I would assume that the final
he's-
fight with the Vulture is going to be at the Homecoming dance,
I'm
or he
assuming
has
that-
to do the fight and then get back to the Homecoming dance, or
That's-
something like that.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
No, that would be awesome because they're pitching this as the John Hughes movie.
Well, see what
I
you're
get
saying is
that.
like this
I
one
understand,
sounds
but it's
more
like, I
like
would
the
love
high
to
school
see,
movie, like
like
an
an
actual high school
actual-
movie.
Peter Parker is an interesting character because he's a high school or well, like early Spider-Man days. He's an actual student. He's the only comic book that you can read where the target audience was the same age as the hero. So
Right.
not only does he have
Yeah.
the save the world shit, but he also has to get home by a certain time and do his chores and do his homework. And so like that's the angle. So if they can actually tap into that, and you know, I might not see how Cop Car is a good vehicle for John Watts to go into the superhero game, but I did believe that he can direct kids well. Like that, at least the movie did that,
I agree.
especially in the face of danger. So
No, I'm completely agreeing with that. But what I'm saying is,
you want the gritty.
I want to see Spider-Man the way I kind of grew up with him, which
wanna see
was the
shooting
animated
web from a stick?
series. Well, no, the animated series when he's in college. I want to see a Spider-Man where he's been doing this shit for at least 5 years, and he's just done. He's
see,
tired.
we've
He
already
doesn't give
gotten
a
that,
shit
though.
anymore.
I think they'll get that though. I'd like if this movie does well, and no Marvel movie's done so poorly that they've completely abandoned it. Besides the Incredible Hulk. By the way, people forget about this. It was like a news item the other day. Natalie Portman's not going to be in Thor 3. Who the fuck was the love interest in Hulk? Is it like
Betty
Liv
Brant.
Tyler.
Liv Tyler? Yeah, Liv Tyler. Gwyneth Paltrow was basically kicked out of the Iron Man shit. It's like
What?
they lost all of the female love interests in the Marvel universe.
Are they all gonna make him gay?
Who the fuck knows? Maybe Thor and Iron Man. I mean, Thor and Hulk are gay for each other. You should really check out that behind the scenes mockumentary thing that I tweeted out a couple hours ago from the Marvel official account. But look, if this one's Homecoming, maybe make this movie in high school. Infinity War. I mean, that's like going to be like a year or two after Homecoming takes place in the Marvel timeline. Like maybe he'll be like applying for college in that movie. And then his next movie, he's actually in college. And then his movie after that, he's like working actually a job because
I don't think
You're
it's going to
talking about
happen
the
at all.
Transformers trilogy
The
right there.
only reason
Sorta,
I don't
yeah.
see that happening in any form is just because Kevin Feige has completely openly stated that there is so much rich and untapped Spider-Man that
yeah,
is
the
in high
villains
school.
that haven't been in movies.
And just so much shit. And he's like saying most of his best stories are when he's in high school.
Yeah.
So I really feel that he's going to stretch three. Let's say Homecoming does great, which I think it will. Let's say that happens. You have Peter Parker, maybe he's a sophomore in high school. You're going to do sophomore year, junior year, senior year, 3 movies of him in high school.
That worked for
And
high school.
then-
And
Musical.
also, you know, Homecoming's the beginning of the school year, so you could have that be that, and then have Infinity Wars take place at the end of the school year as a way to bookend that,
Well,
and then do a
that's the
few
thing.
more years of high school after that.
Well,
Maybe.
then again, they're also saying that they want a Harry Potter, the Spider-Man movies. Which
Huh?
I'm not.
Like-
Okay,
Well,
you know how basically Harry Potter there was 6 movies
7.
based. No,
Seven-
no,
7 and a
6.
half.
6 that were based in school.
Well, yeah, there was supposed to, that's 7 years at that school though, so that was the point. That's why there were 7 books.
Like Harry Potter needs school, okay? Like
Yeah.
that's without Hogwarts, it's a fucking boring story.
Right.
Like Peter Parker doesn't, but he does need like you don't need
he's at that
the
point in
whole
his
movie.
life where it's just where
Exactly.
he's at.
It's vital to his life. Everything like when you're in high school, it's like everything is high school. Where you meet your friends, where you eat, everything you do throughout the day. Like even when you have your time off, you're still talking to your friends from high school. And
Right.
we've never gotten that from a Spider-Man movie. Not even close. Even the first Sam Raimi movie, as good as it is, it feels like a superhero movie, and yet he goes to school every once in a while. Like he's not like, Aunt May, I gotta do this homework. But Green Goblin's trying to fucking kill me too. Like,
No, like, high school is
what
just
do
the
I
setup
do?
for the origin there, and then he's
Exactly.
literally at college like right after a
Yeah,
montage.
like
but
5 seconds later, yeah.
But yeah, this is the coolest discussion I've had about Wanda, you guys.
It's pretty good. But anyway, you're talking about Blake. You want gritty? Here's some remakes that are coming your way. Snatch is going to be coming to Sony's Crackle streaming service. The Departed is going to be turned into an Amazon show. And even worse stuff, Sam Mendes is going to direct, or might direct, mind you, a live-action version of James and the Giant Peach for Disney. Which is stupid because
Yeah.
they just tried to adapt a Ralph Dole movie with a big name,
It's Roald
Steven
Dahl.
Spielberg, whatever the fuck his name is, and it tanked horribly. It's like one of the worst disappointments at the box office this year.
Which
It did
one
so
was
badly.
it Through the Looking Glass?
No,
that's not.
BFG.
Well, those
Oh,
both
oh.
did poorly, but yeah, the BFG just did nothing.
Well, it's
Like-
it's a fun movie, but there's like no way to sell that story at all, except just to say, oh, it's a Steven Spielberg flick, because that is an old-fashioned like
sure.
type of story. Like it's, you know, like we talked about The Witches. Like I don't think you could sell that one to an audience today. Even back then, like that movie tanked. We talked
Especially
about that.
how fucking scary that movie is for kids
Yeah.
and how unchildlike it is for
I mean,
adults.
also as much as I love Fantastic Mr. Fox, I don't think it was a major hit. Like it did modestly okay.
Well,
I
it's a
think.
Wes Anderson movie. What do you
Yeah,
expect?
no,
Like,
I'm just saying, like, you know, Roald Dahl stories, like, unless it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, then it's probably not going to be a big hit.
Willy Wonka, more like it. Like that.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say
no,
never-
Willy
the
Wonka
book
thing.
is called Charlie and the Chocolate
I
Factory.
know that, but I never want to see that Johnny Depp version.
I like that version.
Really?
That's okay. It would
See,
ruin.
Brian, this is what I'm talking about. Steven likes bad movies.
No,
can
it's a
like
good
that
Tim
movie
Burton
all
movie.
you
I like
want.
it. It's
You
it's,
can
a,
get
no,
that-
it's a good movie. There's nothing
Look,
wrong
you
with that
can
movie.
get that sequence
It's
when
not better than the Gene Wilder version. Don't get me wrong,
Willy
but as a Tim
Wonka-
Burton movie, yeah, it's fun.
Okay, well, that movie has a sequence where Willy Wonka goes to the fucking jungle and basically tells the pygmies to come work for him. And then he's like, and that's how I got the Oompa Loompas. Like, you didn't need that in the movie, guys. Especially with the
No,
Deep
it was
Roy
just a
in
Tim
every
Burton thing.
single one. It was very weird. I want to coin this. You know, I coined the She-Make a couple of weeks ago. These Disney movies that they're turning, the animated movies that they're turning into live action, I want to coin this shit live reactions. That's my
I'll be honest, it's not as cool as She Make.
no shit.
I,
But
I, I don't
She
think
Make?
I'd use live reactions. I think I would just say reboots. I'd
it's a
still
live
go by
reaction.
that.
It's a remake, but it's live action, live reaction.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's I see it, but I don't think it clicks right away.
Fuck, you don't got to use it. I'm gonna be making money off of these. You're fired.
I'm just giving you
Uh,
my honest opinion. That's all.
It's invalid.
Because
my
you
office.
deserve it. You deserve an honest
Fired.
opinion.
So moving to the next headline, and this one is really big, and we didn't cover it because I've been waiting for it to actually go somewhere, and now it kind of has. Birth of a Nation, big movie that's coming out. We talked about it right when it hit Sundance. Crazy amount of money, got bought for $17.5 million, more money than anything's ever been bought at the festival before. It's going to make Nate Parker overnight success or break him. It's undoubtedly going to be like a front runner for the Academy Awards. Fox Searchlight, they have a history with this kind of stuff. Look at 12 Years a Slave, similar territory. So the latest thing that's happened in the derailing of this campaign is that it's been taken off of the AFI's screening, or they had a screening plan with the Q&A, and they got it off the calendar. And so this is in reaction to something that's been happening for about a month now. You guys might be familiar with it. Basically, back in 1999, when Nate Parker was going to Penn State, him and also the co-writer of the script were accused of rape. He was acquitted. The co-writer was facing sexual assault charges, and it's a big story. It was public. It's been on his Wikipedia forever, but someone caught wind of it. And so Fox jumped in front of it. They tried to spin it immediately. They got him an interview with Deadline Hollywood. Really, it's not even just an interview. It's a really great story. It talks about everything I know about this. And then shortly after that, the victim or potential victim, her brother came out and said she killed herself a couple years ago. So this is the latest in a string of things where not necessarily Hollywood, but someone out there tries to take someone's film career or movie and derail it and just fuck it over. Other notable examples: The Pianist, because of Roman Polanski's statutory rape case.
Which well that
Blue
he full on
Jasmine.
deserves to go to jail for.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like similar circumstances. Woody Allen's Blue Jasmine, after him marrying his stepdaughter or adopted stepdaughter. I don't think there's anything fucking wrong with that, but it was Blue Jasmine was more the case about when Mia Farrow's daughter came out and said, "Oh, Woody Allen like sexually abused me as a child." So it always happens around this time of the year, right before the Oscars come out, before the award movies are released, where some rightful star or someone's career is tarnished. And in this case, if you actually read the story, this is basically what happened. Nate Parker got his dick sucked by some girl. The next day, she came over. They were drinking, having a good time. She was falling over. He's about to fuck her in the room. His door's open. He like signals to his friend like, "Hey, get the fuck in here. Yeah, you too." And he tries to get his two friends to come in and like four-way her. One of the guys was like, "I'm not into that. 3 ways is enough." So him and his buddy, they tag team this girl. It's college shit. I think they were like freshmen or sophomores, okay?
Mhm.
And 17 years later, after this guy has a wife and 4 daughters, it's like, oh, don't go see his movie that could potentially help our country out during the time of a crisis. In his retelling of, Nat Turner's
Rebellion.
life, I guess you could say, Rebellion, because he's a rapist. Don't go see this movie. That's what's happening right now, and it's pretty fucked up. But it's a headline, and it's gonna either sell or not sell. It's gonna sell papers and not sell tickets, potentially.
I was just reading it right now. I was just looking up just Birth of the Nation because I never even heard of it until now because I really don't follow a lot of.
Birth of a Nation, Birth of the Nation is the racist film.
The
They're both
D.W.
racist.
Griffith one. Yeah, Slash Film reports on this all the time, though, for this one.
Everyone
It's-
is.
Yeah.
This
But
is
this is-
Hollywood, THR, Variety, everyone.
But you're talking about the one that's Nate Parker, like you
Yeah.
said, right?
Coming out later
Yeah,
this year.
I'm on this shit on IMDb. This thing has a fucking 4, dude.
For the 2016 one?
That's IMDb.
Yeah.
That's how many people
And
that
also,
go to
this,
Sundance
after the wake
actually
of this
make
news,
things?
like, yeah,
No, not even
when
that,
something
just-
like that shit happens.
What's the percentage of people that attend Sundance that rate things on IMDb? Like,
I'm just saying
percent?
that it's kind of like this movie's coming out in like less than 2
you can
months.
rate that shit right now on IMDb.
Well,
They
no,
don't
I mean, also
verify.
the thing is, after news like this happens and it gets wide, then people jump to the internet and they start rating things negatively just for the sake of it.
You don't even need a reason.
No,
He's
no,
black.
seriously.
He's
Like,
movie.
yeah,
Fuck
I could fucking hit 0 stars on IMDb right now if I wanted to. But I mean, you know, for me, I will end up seeing the movie, I'm sure. But I want to take the movie on its own terms. It's being overhyped enough as it is, and I don't want it to be another Selma, honestly. I really don't. No, I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, Selma was really built up as, like, this thing where it was so obvious what it was about, and then people were just saying it was great, whereas, like, I think...
It was not good.
I think at least 12 Years a Slave, like, you know, I didn't come at it with... Yeah, it's such a great movie, and I didn't come at it with, like, any expectations whatsoever, and I was fucking blown away and really struck by it as I was watching it. So for this, I seriously want to go in with as little baggage as possible. I will not be thinking about Nate Parker shit going on in real life unless this movie is directly addressing that in some weird way.
Well,
but
there is.
then again, I know that this is
weird.
undoubtedly going to deal with rape because it's Nat Turner's story.
The film uses rape as a catalyst for an event.
Yeah.
And so that is probably the reason why this ancient history, like accused, mind you, rape conviction is being unearthed. It's because, like I said, it's selling papers. People bought this THR article. Like, read this Deadline story. It was his first interview that he did. He's done several since then. It goes deep into it. It's a really... I covered most of it, but it's still a really great read. Spent about 10 minutes reading it. Because he didn't even want to do movies, okay? He, like, found his way back into it. And he... You know, I think we talked about this like 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He's already got another movie lined up. I think at Legendary, and so Wanda. So his career is just starting, and people are already trying to ruin it, which is really sad.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would do something like that.
And then you can probably, jeez, I don't want to bounce back to. And I mean, wait, Nate Parker is black, right?
Yes,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure
He's
that then probably a defense.
Or Nat Turner, rather.
Yeah, and then the defense of that is probably going to be like, oh, people are just racist, trying to destroy this one man's like up and coming career. And God, people suck, man.
There's a whole another angle to this story, which is really fucking weird and just incidental. That I said he went to Penn State in 1999. This is when Joe Paterno was raping his students and shit. So like. That school, they got some problems.
I mean, just as far as rape at universities in general, like that's
every university,
that's been a problem, yeah.
Look at the killing fields,
it's
right?
It's become fucking no, it's hunting ground. Yeah, I mean, after that, then I'm not going to name names, but I mean, holy shit, just the stuff that I've heard.
That story that has told you, we've all heard that story.
Yeah, like at Long
What
Beach,
story?
I'm just like, fuck.
No,
that
just
is
not
awful.
even at Long Beach, just at any college.
Yeah,
like,
no, I
people
know.
that
It's just...
don't know how to drink yet, drink too much, they have sex, and the next morning they're like, "Did you have sex with me?" Yeah. I didn't let you do that. You raped me.
I'm talking
like,
about
what?
shit like hunting ground, though, not like, where it's straight up assault, not where...
No, I thought you were talking about like.
I'm not going to have an opinion on whether he's guilty or not because like it just.
I'm just saying I've heard this story. I've seen this kind of thing happen.
No, like I've seen it too. Yeah, college. I've dealt with all the freakouts on both sides for shit like that, and but I mean, for this, it's just.
Wait, you were accused of raping someone?
No, I wasn't.
I've had a girl.
I said
on
both sides.
No, I've been in those shoes.
As far as
I had a girl one
witnessing
time
it
tell
from
me
both
that
sides,
shit.
hearing that a girl was the victim and then the guy was being accused, I've seen that shit from both sides.
I've been on that side. I've had a girl try to tell me that shit before. I was like, what? No, and then she continued to have, what's the correct term? To have relations with me for some months after the fact. It's like, oh, I definitely tried to rape you. If you're willingly continuing to do it.
Well, unless you want to call it an abusive relationship, I guess, by her.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just college is weird potatoes.
Really is.
And for a man, 17, he was probably 17 or 19 at the time. So twice the numbers removed, he's being judged for it still. Which is asinine.
It's just I don't have enough facts at all. Like it's not my place to really make a judgment on that. I'm not trying to judge him based on. I'm not trying to judge him based on what he did. Just the story here is how the kind of depths that people are going to derail his career and this movie and its Oscar chances. Well,
it's like when that Woody Allen would have not got Best Picture of Blue Jasmine, but when that sexual assault thing came out, it only won like in the deadline piece. He won one award out of 3. They used The Pianist. It's like it won Best Picture, but that's the only thing it won. It didn't win Best Director.
No, it did win Best Director. That was the thing.
It won Best Director.
Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings won that year.
Oh yeah, it won Best Director.
No, because
and
Lord of the
Adrian
Rings
Brody
also
won.
got Best Director that year.
Yeah, no, Adrian Brody won.
It was the
and
year
that was
before
it,
that, and Chicago won Best Picture that year. That's what it was.
Pianist was an 02.
Yeah, it was 02.
Was it?
Because 03,
Yeah,
Lord
okay,
of the Rings swept on everything.
Yeah, no 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, yeah. It just read that article. It's a fascinating thing. I'm sure that something else is going to pop out in the coming weeks
Oh, it
to
always
try
does.
to get people not to see this movie. Like it's possible that maybe even Fox Searchlight themselves are the ones that made this a hot topic just so people are talking about him and in that way are also talking about the movie.
I mean, how big is the marketing on this movie? Because I mean, aside
Huge.
from like some
If you buy
tweets
it
from
indie-
Film, yeah, I'm not seeing anything, and
If you buy a movie for $18 million or basically $18 million,
yeah, you have
you
to
gotta
pimp it.
promote it more than twice that.
I'm just asking though because I'm not seeing much of anything on it.
It's
to be
too
honest.
early.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
was
not out
saying. I
for
had
2
no
more
idea what
months.
this movie was.
It's not.
No, it's a
not
month
coming
away.
out for 2 more
It's
months.
the beginning of October.
It's August 28th.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's like October 14th.
Okay, then
October 7th.
Is it 7th?
Yes,
Yeah, I think it's limited
like a
though.
month away. It's like
No,
5 weeks away.
that's going to be the limited though. I don't think it's going to go wide the 7th. It doesn't matter either or. The only thing I know about it, I don't want to see a trailer. I've seen the kick-ass poster of Nate Parker being hung with the American flag as the noose, and that's just like perfect imagery. So
Did
I
you
hope
say
it sells a
Nate
lot of
Parker
tickets.
being hung?
Well, it's Nat
I
Turner,
know.
but it's Nate Parker. Yeah.
Oh, right, because he stars in it. I forgot.
Yeah, it's a weird naming scheme. It's bizarre. It's going to confuse a lot of people. Did you see that Nate Parker story? Yeah, Nat Turner stars in it. That's going to happen. It's totally gonna happen.
American 2016, sure, I can buy it.
Talking
Yeah,
about
I
the
mean-
judicial system, though, not to cut you guys off, but I love VR.
I know you do.
VR, I'm going to have it soon. The countdown is actually, there's 45 days until I get my PlayStation VR. I paid in full already. We're going to talk about PlayStation later in the show.
What is that, like $300, right?
400 plus tax. I got the 500 plus tax, so all in, I'm like at 550.
What?
Yeah, I paid that off. Well, it's on my credit card.
Wait.
Right.
What do you get for 500?
You get a PlayStation camera. You get 2 Move controllers. You get the head-mounted display itself, which is retail price about $400. You get a set of headphones. You get a demo disc, the one that I got. I got VR Worlds, which retails for $40. And I also am getting all the knickknacks. You get a processing unit, so the people can watch on the TV what you see. So all in, it's actually a pretty good deal. The controllers themselves are $40 a piece, so that's $80 right there. The camera is $50, so you're looking at $130. The game, like I said, is $40, so that's $190. The demo disc, we'll call that $10. That's already $200. The headset itself, if you just look at that, is like $300. The processing unit has to be around $50, so like $250 basically for just the headset, and then like the little things like the HDMI and then the profit and all that stuff. It's not a bad deal. But there's gonna be more about that on the show later. Like I said,
Okay, we'll talk about that one later.
that's not that expensive.
It is, because it's kind of like you're basically buying another system.
The Oculus Rift is $600. You don't get controllers, and the HTC Vive is $800. So it is not that expensive. It is pretty cheap.
But what's the
Gear VR
you know-
is $100, and you
I would
need a
rather
$800 phone.
I
You
would
need
think
it.
I'd rather talk about this when we're actually on the VR subject.
Well, this is VR. This is like the taste test. But anyway,
Okay.
if you like, say you want to get the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 next month.
Yeah.
That's $800 phone. You want to get the Gear VR with that? That's $100. That's a $900 investment. If you buy the basic VR for $400 and you buy a PS4, that's less than the cost of the Gear VR.
But if you already own a PS4, then
Then it's
What are
not
you
that
paying?
big of investment. Like, minimum you can do is like $450.
and that would give me everything that you're getting for paying 500.
No, you'd still need the controllers, but you don't need the controllers. Not every game uses those controllers. And matter of fact, I already own 2 of them. So
You're not, because so you're getting like motion controllers, right?
yeah, and I already have them.
Okay, gotcha.
I already own them. I own 2 pairs. I'll post my collection on the website. Some shit.
See,
But
I mean,
anyway,
it's
this
just
is
like, yeah.
this is real world VR. This isn't about the game. Like I said, we can talk about that a little later in the show. But VR is making a splash in the judicial system. It's being used right now in Canada for this case. Basically, what happened, this animal activist on the side of the road, like while a pig farmer was moving his animals to the slaughterhouse, she jumped out of her car, grabbed some water, and was like giving them something to drink because they're dehydrated. It was really hot. She wanted to make sure that they were okay, and so she was arrested for that or some shit, something stupid. But basically, what they're doing is in this Canadian courtroom, they're using virtual reality to allow the jurors to understand the living conditions of pigs in a factory farm, such as the one that these animals were going to. And so it's going to allow them to kind of tap into the mind state and like, oh, yeah, I probably want water too. That's just one example. The other one is something that happened back in May where the UK courts used HTC Vive to allow a jury to investigate a crime scene without tampering with any of the evidence. So this is just
Well,
the
that's pretty
beginning
cool.
yeah, like VR's already had implications in the medical film field. Now it's going to be in the judicial. There's pictures right now of Barack Obama using it, so I guess you could say legislative also. um, but it's not just entertainment. It's not just escapism. It could, in tandem with augmented reality, really change our world and how we perceive things. Like you could literally get someone else's perspective, and like time will tell with this Canadian case. Maybe people don't even report on actually what happens here because the news item that I care about is actually the tech being used at all. But for instance, Gear VR, or not Gear VR, but Google Cardboard can be used in the if I was a teacher, okay, I was teaching like third grade, I would bring cardboard to the class, buy like 10 cardboards, bring them to the classroom, allow the kids to go to museums or do national park tours or just about anything. You don't have to spend money on the buses and the food and all that shit. You could just do it in virtual reality. Because let's be honest, going to the museum and looking at the paintings, if you see a picture, it's basically the same shit. If it's a high enough
I mean, like
resolution.
the novelty of it is like when you're a kid, it's just to get out of the
Yeah.
classroom and go somewhere else. But yes, I absolutely like. There's no doubt that this is the way of the future, and even after this, it's all going to end in holograms. Like,
No.
yeah, totally.
You're so confused. Okay, look.
No, I'm just saying. Hey, come on.
Holograms.
After this, no. Like, hey, if you can put on a headset in the classroom, that's fine. If you can throw up like a hologram in the classroom, Iron Man style, and interact with it and throw stuff around the
They
room,
already
that's
have holograms.
okay. Well,
You can
that's more
project
like
hologram off your iPad. You can do it right now. You can do it. Holograms are not the same. Okay, holograms or not holograms, but
to recreate an
holographic
environment
technology.
through holograms. That's going to be
Holographic technology is a way of projecting.
Mhm.
Okay, virtual reality or augmented reality is. Let me backtrack. If you're watching a movie, you can watch it in the movie theater. You can watch it on TV. You can watch it on a phone. You can watch it on a projector at home, or you can watch it on a hologram. It's still the content, and we're from the point where consumer level holographic materials are readily available is probably like 40 years from
when
now.
I say holograms, I'm saying what happens after that, after VR.
That's what I'm saying
Yeah.
we're like 40 years from then.
Yeah.
We're already right now in a plausible virtual reality construct. You can, with the technology that's already at the consumer
I know
level.
I'm agreeing with you. I was just saying holograms are way after down the line, and that's just where things end up.
I think what I initially argued with you about though is I was trying to. I think my initial brain thought was that you don't need it. If yes, like it would be nice to sit in your house and not have to put the headset on.
Thing is, yeah, and that's the thing. I still have yet to try it, but it's just that is my main thing. Is it just sounds like that would be irritating to me is having a headset
Uh-huh.
on, unless it's like as much.
You always wear
Yeah,
glasses.
As long
you
as it
don't
doesn't
you
weigh
don't
down-
think that they've already like
You
considered
already wear
that.
glasses.
Well, no,
I
I
mean,
mean, that's my
people
thing. Is
already
like as long as
complain
it's
about
not going to weigh
headphones.
down my headphones or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like that's
headphones are the same thing though.
Yeah, no, it's
but-
it's just I don't. I mean, that like
mean, that's one
I
of the
still have to try it.
main-
I'm just saying that's my main
PSVR
thought because the thing seems more
is-
bulky and it seems to weigh down in front of my eyes. But I still have to try it.
No,
I
the
admittedly have not done it
PSVR,
yet.
the weight distribution is amazing. You barely even know you're wearing the thing. Oculus Rift, different. It is front heavy. I still haven't done the HTC Vive, but I would assume the same thing. From all the things that I've read on Reddit and on the internet, the PlayStation VR is the most comfortable by not like apples and oranges, but it is. Everyone agrees it is the most comfortable of the three majors currently. So I mean, you just fly down here, play with my gadget once it
Oh,
lands.
wait till
in
Christmas.
Oh wow, their
46
games are
days.
pretty
Yeah.
cheap too.
Good luck getting one Christmas, Steve. Good luck with that shit.
I
Like, there's
said when I
already
come down
eBay.
there.
There. Oh, I thought you said I'll get one for
Yeah,
Christmas.
I said just wait till Christmas.
There's already scumbags on eBay selling their Amazon pre-orders, and there's two, and one of them's at I think it's like 1,300, which isn't that bad of a deal, but he's fucking smoking rope. I don't know if anyone would actually pay that much money.
So they're already all sold out everywhere.
Yeah, you can't buy one right now.
Oh,
It's impossible. The way it's gonna work basically is launch day. There's going to be so many pre-orders, and then they're probably going to get some extras, and you can buy them that day. But then after that first 24 hours, they're probably not going to have anywhere, and you're going to have to wait to get another shipment. But come Black Friday, there's definitely going to be more. Christmas for sure, there's going to be more. It's just, that day one, unless you're waiting in line with all the pre-order folks like me, you're not going to get one. They might only have like one or two.
and this is dropping in October, right?
Yeah, October 13th. So I'm
Okay.
getting line the 12th at midnight.
It's like
Well,
6 or 7 weeks from now.
yeah, it's 45 days.
I mean, it's like I don't have a problem waiting, in general, because I mean, I'm a fan of VR. I mean, I've seen some videos. I've yet to test it out. Right now, the only thing that's really appealing to me with the VR, and just because I'm a huge fan of it, it's fucking, Batman VR. That's
Yeah,
the only
I
one.
already pre-ordered that. It's cheap.
That's
That one's
the-
only $20.
Yeah, that's what I was like saying. Oh wow, these games are cheap. That's why I was like,
Now,
oh shit.
some of the games are expensive. There's one that Ubisoft's making called like the Star Trek Crew or some shit. I can't remember the actual name.
Yeah.
But that one's 60. Resident Evil 7 is 60.
Are you gonna get that one?
No, I'll let my
No.
friend buy it and I'll try it out. But I've played the demo. I've seen the gameplay, and I'm not really a fan of survival horror. I own I own a lot of Resident Evil games, but I've never bought one day one, and I'll wait because it doesn't seem there's no online component. It doesn't seem that long of a game, and also it's not the kind of game that I enjoy. So I'll wait it out on that one. Plus, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's built from the ground up for VR. It's more like we built this thing, and you can play the whole thing in VR.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. Here's my thing: is that I've been a huge Resident Evil fan. I remember being a kid playing the first one in the dark and being scared shitless, and then moving on to the second one, and then the third, and then just falling in love with it, and then being blown away by the fourth, and then realizing that 5 and 6, six I never played.
Six
But-
isn't bad. Five, if you like five, six is basically the same shit.
I played the demo for 6, and I was just all like, no.
I know you have a PS4. You can go to GameStop right now. You can, if they have it pre-owned, you can get Resident Evil 6 pre-owned on your PS4 for like $18. Okay, and it's a deal for that price because it's seriously like a 60-hour game, and the whole thing is co-op. There's a
Is it
lot of game there.
68?
60-hour game. Like
60
it is
hours. Holy shit.
It's a long fucking game. Like there's a lot of content there. Like for the price, there's no competition. Like if you want something that you can get stuck in with a friend for like months, it will depend on how much you play it. It's the one. Like I've been playing Resident Evil 6 for like 2 years now or something.
What?
Yeah, like a friend comes over, we play like a chapter or two. Next time he comes over, we play like a chapter or two. I mean, obviously he doesn't come over every day or something. So I don't like for the pace that we play it, it's perfect for me because it's not a great game, but it's not a bad game. It's just there's a lot there. Like the production value is through the roof. Like for the fact that for $60 when that game was brand new, I understand the reviews why people shat on it, but for how much that you got like an hour of gameplay per dollar. That's good money.
That's a pretty good way to look at it. And I mean,
And
that's
now-
the thing is that that's a game that people will play for maybe 4 or 5 hours, get tired of it, cast it off to the side for a couple of days, and then come back to it maybe a month later.
Because it's
So
like
that's real.
that game is so long. It's like there's 4 different stories, and they all intertwine. So there's the one where you're Leon with his new partner, and that one's kind of like Resident Evil 4, where it's more survival horror. There's the one with Chris Redfield and his new partner, and that one's kind of like Resident Evil 5, where it's more action. And then there's one with Claire Redfield. No, not Claire. It's not Jill. maybe it's Claire. I don't fucking know. But some girl and Wesker's son, and that one's kind of like Resident Evil 3, where you have this big dude chasing you the whole game, kind of like Nemesis. And so you can play all of them together, split screen, or together over the internet. And then, like I said, they all cross over. So you'll get to a point where like you and your friend are about to fight this boss, and then it syncs up with another people that are playing also over the internet who are on like a different story path, and you fight the boss together. Like it's a really cool concept. And then there's also like a Agent Ada thing, and there's mercenaries, and there's this thing called Agent Hunt. Like there's a fuck ton of content. It's for $20. You should get it.
I just never got
Seriously.
into the fact that they made it multiplayer and then they made it online play. I was just like,
Resident Evil 5 is the same thing.
Resident. Oh no, but I never played the co-op.
I've only played 5 co-op. I've only played 6 co-op.
I'm
Like, I
so
play on
used to
professional.
playing
It's impossible
fucking
to
solo.
do that. It's impossible to do that shit on professional without a teammate. It is
Oh
way
well,
too
yeah,
hard.
absolutely.
CPU is retarded, but it's like it's enough of a challenge that like I said, to play one chapter, which is like on professional, it's like a good 2 hours or so. It's a good chunk of chances. Like, let's play a game with the mercenaries, get warmed up, kill some zombies. We're not zombies, but Jabo or the fuck they're called. Well, actually, they bring the zombies back for 6, and then we'll play the game. But yeah, for like seriously, just go to your GameStop, fucking buy it pre-owned, play it. If you don't like it, return it. If you love it, keep it. Like, I doubt you're gonna be like, I can't believe I spent fucking $20 on this one. Ah, It's a big tangent. We'll come back to the video game stuff later. Yeah, Universal Media Group, or Music Group rather, is the first music label to say fuck you to the exclusive streaming model. They're really salty right now because Frank Ocean, as most people know, just put out 2 albums. The first one is a visual album called Endless. It's like 45 minutes. That's exclusive to Apple Music. And it was his final thing on his contract with Universal. And then he put his album Blonde out 2 days later, which he self-published and was also only exclusive on Apple Music. And so nowadays, Apple Music has more to gain than labels do, especially if their merger with Tidal actually happens. And it's kind of bullshit. It's like, I'm a big Kanye West fan. I got a free trial of Tidal when his album came out. I listened to it that first week. I stopped the trial once I heard enough of it and it was available elsewhere. He just put out a new music video. It's only on Tidal. It's like Frank Ocean. If I wanted to do it the legal way, I had to go on Apple Music. You know, like it's kind of bullshit to the fans, and only the musicians have something to gain. And Spotify is apparently also taking a stand against this. They're going to do less promotion for the exclusives when they come their way, and they're also going to include less songs on featured playlists to try to combat this. Because who's this benefit? Apple subscribers? Like, if you don't have an iOS device and use Apple Music, and you've been a longtime fan, we'll use Frank Ocean for instance. His last album was 4 years ago. So you're telling me 4 years ago I listened to the shit out of Channel Orange, and now I can't listen to his new album because I don't have Apple? It's kind of a crooked
who it
way.
benefits, obviously it's solely Apple, which, I mean, fuck
Yeah.
that. Seriously. That's...
Well, in this situation, it benefited Frank Ocean because he got off of his music label contract. Also, but yeah, this is like the new thing. It seriously, it is a big fuck you. Like, imagine, you could argue it's similar things with like, oh, you know, if you want to watch Game of Thrones, you need HBO. Except the difference there is that, like, well, when it hits DVD, you can buy it or rent it,
Yeah.
or eventually it will come to Amazon streaming and you can watch it there, or you can go on iTunes or Sony
It's
or
like
whatever
this
and
thing,
buy
this
the
is
episodes
streaming
one by
exclusively,
one.
and it's not like you get a physical digital
Exactly.
copy that you can store somewhere on your own when you don't have to be connected online.
Or
It's
if anything, you can just be a member of having AT&T for your internet, and you get HBO Go for free.
Sort of. Well, that's actually the next news point. It's funny you brought that up. But it's really crooked because it's the only realm that this exists in. Because yeah, like if you are on Xbox and you want to play Uncharted, you can't do it because it's only on PlayStation. The difference there is that they made that fucking game. Sony made Uncharted. Okay, they used their hard money to make that franchise from the ground up. Apple didn't. I mean, they did give money to Frank Ocean, but they didn't make this record. It's not their studio. They had nothing to do with it. Him, And then, the other examples being, the title things I was saying, like Kanye and Beyonce and Jay-Z, which makes sense because Jay-Z owns title, so why not pimp out your own product? But then on Apple Music, like I think Taylor Swift went there first, Drake does his stuff there first. Like all the huge artists, the multi-billion dollar, chart topping, Billboard winning, Grand Slam tour people are on the exclusive model. And it's really stupid. I don't understand it. Enough people already have Spotify. They announced that they have 38 million paid subscribers now. That's 38 million people potentially that can't listen to these songs yet. Like there's an exclusive window. It's here first. Can you imagine if movie theaters did that? Like this only plays at AMC. You have to come to AMC theaters.
It's, I mean, there's sort of deals like that where they have exclusive, like, they got deals with theater chains of like,
yeah.
hey, we'll distribute your movie. Like Chirac, I could only see that at an AMC theater, But it's not like that deal says, hey, you're not allowed to go show it somewhere else.
And then also anyone can go to an AMC theater. There isn't a card that you have to be a member of. It's not like you don't own an AMC car, you can't come to the AMC theater because that's exactly how
it's
Apple
like you're
Music
not a
works.
Stubbs member. Oh no, you can't do that. You don't have a
Sorry.
Regal card. You're not a Victory member at the Draft House. No, sorry, can't go.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, actually,
go
that is
listen
kind of
to
how the
Spider-Man.
Victory thing works. Is that you couldn't go to an early screening of Don't Breathe unless you had that.
Yeah, that seems fair. That's the kind of
that's
movie.
an incentive to have that thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that
Is that
helps
kind of
sell.
like a Regal card for?
Except it's not free, I would assume.
no, it is, and it's actually way cooler.
If it's free, then I don't know. That's weird. I don't even have a Regal card. Every time they offer me one, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, because I got nothing to gain. There's no points or anything. It's just you want to track my purchases.
No,
like, nah,
it is points, and you like
Yeah,
the way
you get
the way it
points.
is now is that you get points, and you can let them add up, and you don't have like an expiration date on when you get to redeem stuff. It's just you can let them add up and decide when you want to use them for a free ticket,
like
a free drink, or a free popcorn.
Andy. Okay, so it's
Well,
a subs
so-
card, except you don't pay.
Yeah, it's always been the same thing. AMC made you pay for a while, I think.
You still pay.
Here's the really shitty thing about Regal card is that I just realized that the one that I've been using for like the last maybe 4 or 5 years.
Isn't yours?
Well, no, it's not mine. I'll say that right away. I stole that from someone at the theater. They
Stole the
left
free
it, and
card.
I stole a free card because it already had points. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll use your point to get more points, motherfucker. But so I just realized that the last maybe 6 months I've been going to the theater, swiping this fucking card, getting super pissed, realizing that I'm not getting my free popcorn, my free drink.
Well, do they tell you how many points you have at the window? Like, do they say
hold
you
on,
can...
let me finish. So what happened is that I realized that they don't print them out anymore because it's all been distributed to the app.
Yeah, well, no, they do that digitally. Like, when you buy your tickets, they have this thing on the screen where it comes up, it says how many points you have, and then they're supposed to let you know what you have and if you want to redeem it for, like, a free popcorn or a free drink. If you have a free ticket, then you usually go up to them and you let them know that when you're making the purchase.
Yeah, they haven't said shit to me.
All right, well, then the next time you go, ask them what you've got, if you have anything, because they should have that coming up. That's how those screens work.
I don't know.
Should I fucking download the app at least and enter that shit in, or
I've
what?
never ever taken the app actually. So every time it's always been someone's had a card. The app is it's just something with the Q card or what is it, the Q. That's what it is, right? I forgot.
When I worked at
Hubert?
AMC, it only happened fucking once, but it was it was retarded. This lady came in with her Apple Watch with her Stubbs card account on it, and instead of taking off the watch and handing it to me, she tried to scan it with her wrist by like reaching over the counter, and I was just looking at her like, what?
Yeah,
Like, I
people do that. It's not unusual.
It was
that
so
actually,
silly.
That does happen. People try to do that with Apple
It is
Pay.
no, it is pretty unusual because not that many people own Apple Watches because they look like just
More
silly.
and more people do. Like, they're coming up more and more, honestly. And I think
Perhaps,
they're stupid,
but I'd say
but a lot of people
when
have
I
them.
go, if I'm not like in a metropolitan area, like say like downtown LA, I don't think I probably see like a smartwatch like maybe once a month.
Every
like,
time
I don't
I'm
see
running
them frequently.
downtown, a lot of people have them, and they're using that obviously for fitness and tracking their footsteps and how far they're running. But
Listen, you
Why
live in a
buy
metropolitan
fucking
area
Apple
though.
Watch?
You live in a metropolitan area, though. That's what
I
I'm saying.
see. I have difficulty thinking of it that way. Like LA is a
It's a
metropolitan
major
area.
city that's very hip with
Steven, you
a
live in
big
Austin,
media.
Texas.
It's not.
It's
Yeah,
like fucking LA.
It's
yeah.
not LA.
No, it
It's
is exactly like
definitely
LA,
no, it
except you
isn't.
don't have skyscrapers.
It is not LA. Like
It is
I
LA.
mean
I
the
didn't
tallest
say it
skyscraper
was.
is
I
what
said
I think
it's
like
like
50
LA.
stories. No,
You
it's
have a music festival.
Mhm.
You have a movie festival. You have a big art population.
Come to my
You have
apartment
sports
right now. You would
teams
swear that you're in a
really
small
close by.
town. Like
You,
there's a lot of stuff that's pretty spaced out. So I mean, it's just hard to think of it as something like LA. But yes, I see what you're saying.
it's a metropolitan area.
It's just it's not the same though.
Someone in China might not know where El Paso is, but they've definitely heard of Austin. At least someone that works for
El
Wanda.
Paso has more people
okay?
there, I think, than in Austin.
I'm just saying they're not a major city though. Like they don't have a heartbeat that people listen to.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, come back to your point, Blake. You were talking about AT&T. HBO and AT&T just did something historic. At least that's how they're calling it. It's a first, and it is notable. That's why it's on the show. They just re-upped their deals for their content to be on the service. So Warner Brothers premium cable content, or it's premium content, not cable anymore, is going to be available now on AT&T for linear TV, on demand, and also over the air. So it's going to be coming to the upcoming DirecTV Now, which is going to, like the Dish Sling competition or the Hulu competition whenever that comes the fuck out. And PlayStation View, over the internet TV, live TV. So this is going to be all this stuff. You're going to be able to do HBO Go. You're going to be watching it live, and you can do it over the internet. So since they just did this, I would have to assume it's only going to be a matter of time for everyone else to do it. I have to imagine in the near future when you re-up your contract with Dish Network or Time Warner Cable or whoever the hell it is, that they have to do the three things or there's not allowed. Like you have to have access to it on all means of watching instead of, oh, you can only watch it if you have the satellite on top of your house. It's the only way you can do it. Because these things happen all the time with Dish Network where we don't have channels, it's a blackout, and like you get this message on the bottom of the screen from like Comcast, it's like, tell your provider that you like our channels and you don't want them to go missing. And then like 5 days later, it's like, yeah, they redid the contract, it's gonna last another 2 years. Because it's it's just like the way that they pay for advertising. It's not a constant stream. It's every so many years. For instance, like Disney is also gonna be part of DirecTV Now. ESPN is going to be one of the covered things. On PlayStation View, they just got the NFL Network, so you do like the Red Zone on there. So there's only so many players in town. Like I said, Hulu's coming, DirecTV. There's going to be more and more. It's not going to be long until it's only over the internet and on demand. So this is the beginning of the end. I think this contract is going to be the first of many.
So does that mean that certain cable providers are going to lose their like certain shit?
I mean, that's how it does happen. Yeah, if the provider doesn't agree to the terms that, or vice versa, of the content providers, then yeah, they like you can lose the channels. Like for a while there on Dish, we didn't have. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like fuck, what was it? It was like Cartoon Network, or not Cartoon Network, but it was something like we didn't have something for a while. It was like this channel is gone, and then it came back like a couple months later. Like this is something that happens all the time, more so with DirecTV or with Dish Network than DirecTV, because DirecTV is owned by AT&T, and so they have so much money they never say no.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. That should be interesting.
I'm pretty happy.
I have to assume. Yeah, I have to assume that this DirecTV Now is going to be coming out like in November or something. It's probably going to be a big like Christmas push, lots of commercials. It's like, give the best gift of all, watching TV from anywhere. DirecTV Now, brought to you by AT&T. Better than Uverse or something like that. It's like your Uverse connected everywhere or some fucking shit like that. Like slogans coming out my ass right now. There's only one universe
for them.
There's only one universe I really care about, and it's Universal. And it's this story. Do you follow? Well, you're not on Instagram, Steve. Do you follow The Rock on Instagram, Blake?
No, but my
No?
girlfriend does.
So she talks about his stuff or shows you his stuff, right?
Yeah.
Really kick-ass content. So, like
yeah,
a week
he's a very inspiring person.
Oh yeah,
on there.
definitely.
Like, he's
Lots of love in his heart. Like, I'm exercising. I woke up at 4 a.m. If I can do it, you can do it. And I already look this way. Think about the way you could look. Shit like that.
yeah.
And so, like a week or two ago, very uncharacteristic of the guy. He took to Instagram to call out a bald candy ass on the set of Fast 8 last week, right?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, obviously. So I didn't
Obviously.
actually see this picture itself. Maybe I should. I'm guessing it's a video, but the gist of it is he was calling out one of his castmates for being very unprofessional and taking too long in their trailer and not being able to shoot so they could wrap production or whatever.
Yeah.
And this sparked this whole thing where there was
Right.
a piece at THR about like set drama and how it can help or hurt a feature. Apparently, the Universal execs were brought onto the set to clear the air. All this stuff. It seemed like a somewhat major little tiny thing, especially from the guy like you said that is an inspirational guy. Lots of nice things to say about everyone. He's the highest paid actor in the world this year.
Yeah.
And so I read this on Slash Film. They reported from someone else. Of course, you don't know that because they never really say that on their site.
True.
But it's rumored that this is all an elaborate stunt to publicize Fast 8 by having Vin Diesel fight The Rock at WrestleMania 33 next year.
I read
which is
the exact same
you read the thing?
and it
So-
made perfect
Yeah.
sense.
This
And
is
I
going to be
mean-
awesome.
And it's one of those things where it's like you read that and then you just sit there and you're like, why? Why would you bother to make such
Well, it's
an
not so
elaborate?
much.
You're
oh,
basically causing drama.
it's not
fake
so much
drama.
a why
It-
for me. It's just so much as like for a franchise that's this tired at this point. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. That as marketing, just for a marketing ploy, they would target just tabloid journalism like that.
mean,
I could see it going
WrestleMania-
that far. Yeah.
The thing is, WrestleMania is going to be 2 weeks before Fast 8.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I
perfect
thought it was
timing.
a week.
It's like a week and a half, okay? And plus, not
Okay.
everyone watches pay-per-view the day it happens, so it's people are
Right.
watching like a week before it happens. I'm sure the clip is gonna be all over the internet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it. I'm gonna be interested, and it's perfect marketing. I mean the secret's out. Enough people, the people that probably care already know that it's gonna ruin some of the like not appeal, but a little bit of the illusion. But this is just beginning. Like, how's it going to escalate? Where's it going to go? Is it going to be like The Rock saying, "I'm Black Adam, you're fucking Groot, like I would destroy you"? Like, how far does this go? Where does it
something
go
that's
next?
so cheesy already that like
I don't
I
care.
can see it's no
It's
different
perfect
than like
WrestleMania fodder.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's no different than I don't know. The latest thing I could think of today was that I was at a convenience store and some chick was just looking at those entertainment magazine covers and it's all gossip
Everyone
about
was
who's
that,
dating
yeah.
who and who's divorcing who.
Star and
And
US
it's
Weekly.
it's just shit like
People.
that I'm just not into at all, and I could totally see the appeal to it. So, I mean, yeah, that's great marketing, but it's just I don't know, like especially for this is the 8th film in that franchise, and it just feels tired out to me. That I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't care, but I see what
It's
you're
like-
doing, but yeah, go ahead. I'm just not going to be there with it.
If you want to be
really
technical,
feel
it's not
that-
technically.
It's,
I think that it's because of Men in Black that I now pick up every time I'm in line. I read
'Cause
those,
It's the best source.
and I'm like, oh, gotta read the hot sheets.
It's what you should do. You should start a 2 cents, call it whatever you want, based on tabloid news every week. Like you pick the best 5, the top 5, and that's what you just talk about in depth. They're like, oh no, but no, you don't understand. Her twin sister was abducted by aliens, and so when she was abducted, they brought her sister back, and then no one noticed that it happened. It's a conspiracy, some shit like that. Like I could go for that. I could go for that.
I got to pitch
Maybe-
that idea to Miller. Maybe that's what he might want to do.
It's podcasting is easy. You just gotta know how to do it. The how is the hard part. Not the how is the hard part. The why is easy. If you have a reason to, anyone can do it.
That's actually
Right. I mean,
it's
this
the
is-
exact opposite for me. The how to do it is it's kind of the finding out the why to do it in the first place is it's like the reverse for
Oh,
me.
really?
Basically.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
why would I want
as-
to devote time to talking about bullshit tabloid? I'd be like a fucking
Yeah.
podcast TMZ.
let's do this, Steve. It's so easy. Just as a test of your strength, get a podcast on iTunes by the end of September.
Well,
on your own.
actually, it was supposed to happen
fruition.
at the end of May, but there's been problems happening. But yeah,
Do it. See it. Let me see it. Mind you, I pay
I
nothing for
think,
this show.
yeah, I
I pay
think
$7 a year.
I think if certain
No
people are
hosting fees.
available to get things planned and we can make schedules work, then yeah, it could happen.
No,
Are you
I'm not
pointing
talking
fingers
about
at me?
I
No,
might
I'm
be.
not
I
talking
might be.
about.
I don't know.
I'm not even talking about the hosts and the content. I'm just talking about the distribution model,
Yeah,
the way that you would
I'm
do
saying
that.
as far as creating episodes, that's what I'm saying.
no, that's easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is easy. As far as distributing it, yes, there's some things that I have to learn when doing that, but I'm sure it's perfectly doable. Like I worry more about the content itself than how I get it out there.
You sure? You pick
Yeah, at the
Cop
end,
for
like getting
this.
it out there is easy. I always worry about making something good though, so that's why the why is much more difficult for me.
Nah, I don't question that. I just fucking do it. Just go for it.
Yeah, I know. See, I have like anxiety issues over everything that I'm working on. I'm just always because it's like
Why? No
that's
one's
the
listening.
stuff that people are ingesting. Is like getting it is the
No one's
easy part for
listening.
them to acquire it. Well, I'd like to think someone might be. Fuck, I'm still putting myself out there on the internet. So yeah, I'm always, I'm thinking that like it. And I mean, there's episodes I've listened back to. I'm just like, fuck, I sound horrible, or I fucked up this review. But then you tell me, oh, hey, Bulworth's actually pretty good. I'm like, okay,
Oh yeah, Bulworth.
yeah, it's
I
like
was
thank
talking about
God for
Bulworth.
that. But yeah,
I was talking about not our episode, mind you, but I was talking about the movie last night
yeah.
with my great aunt and her husband, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw that in theaters. Yeah, I really liked it. I just didn't like the hip hop stuff." And I was like,
What?
no, "That's fair."
That's like the entire movie.
He's like
It's like a
80
majority
years
of the
old
movie.
and white.
No, he was like 60 at the time.
I'm talking about the person who saw it.
Okay.
But yeah, he would have been 60 at the
Yeah.
time. Still, even still, there's a big
Just
generation
not
gap there.
receptive to the message, though.
No, not the. I'm not saying the message, like just the literal delivery of the message.
Fair enough.
Because we had a good little conversation about the movie and all stuff related, the police brutality and the violence and all that stuff. But he was like, "Yeah, I couldn't really do the rapping." I was like, "Yeah, I don't blame you. That's okay. It can't be.
It
a
is
perfect
kind of
movie.
excessive, I think.
It's the perfect amount. It's a perfect amount. I wish I could go back, like redo that, do a review for that movie again in the future, but find like a rapper to come on the show, and then just me and him just talk and rhyme for the whole review. That would be
Oh,
awesome.
you're already warming up for it after last week.
No, that's different. I
I
found this
said
guy that
warming
does.
up. It's not. You'll
I
get
need-
there, I'm sure.
I need to watch more of his content, but he does like, or he did. I don't know if he still makes stuff. Because I was like curious. I was like, has anyone else ever done a Ricky O rap? And I typed it on Google. The first thing I found was a YouTube video where this guy, he just like basically does a plot synopsis rap for the whole movie over the score, and he has
I
several
have to
videos.
see that.
It's pretty cool. Like his production quality was pretty shitty. He needs a better mic, but I was like,
the
this is
beats
cool.
are
I'll
there and
probably.
everything.
It's okay, but it's like I like how he used like little. You have to see it to understand. This is the final headline or the final important headline. Pretty major, big thing that's happened in the comic book universe or universes. Doug Liman, he was supposed to be. I already kind of gave it away. Direct Fox's Gambit movie, which has been all kinds of fucked up. Their first director, who I can't remember who it is anymore, left. They got delayed. Doug Liman came in. He was, going to direct his movie for Amazon and then start filming soon. He's left. He's said, fuck you. He's left Marvel for DC, and he's going to be directing DC's Dark Universe, a.k.a. Justice League Dark, the film that Guillermo del Toro was supposed to do once upon a time for Warner Brothers now. Scott Rudin's producing, so it's on a fast track. I have to assume that after the numbers Suicide Squad got, they were like, let's get this going right now, high gear. Let's make more money. So kudos to him, because I see that working out better for him than Gambit. I didn't really like that pairing. He's a great talent, but that movie's in the shitter now.
Do you think that Doug Liman is the right choice, though? Because I've seen a fair amount of his movies, and
Seen Edge of
I'm
Tomorrow?
really yes.
That's the only one you got to see. Like after seeing that, I am fully
Well, I mean, his
aware.
stuff is very sporadic. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like he's made the same movie twice. I guess Jumper, even though I haven't seen that, it seems like it might be similar to Edge of Tomorrow. And I guess
No,
not really.
like
No,
one's
no.
about time
Jumper
travel, one's about
is-
teleportation. But
No.
as far as like
no.
No,
Jumper-
as far as
Don't
sci-fi,
get
that's
old
what I'm
trash.
getting at. It's not the
No,
same movie,
Jumper's-
but that's the only loose thread I can find.
No, he doesn't make the same thing
I
twice.
know.
Like,
I'm saying that's the closest I can find.
even still between those, like those film, not even with the sci-fi angle, And Jumper's not even sci-fi. It's like seriously, they was supposed to be a franchise. It's like this is in the Twilight era. They were trying to make a Jumper franchise, and it just failed bad. It's not a bad movie. It's just they casted Hayden Christensen, and he's not a good actor. That's the fault with that movie because what's his name, Billy Elliot, whatever the fuck his name is,
Jamie Bell.
Yeah, Jamie Bell. He's great in it, and I really like the effects where like when he's doing the montage of how he got his powers or whatever. Not how he got his powers, but when he's mastered his powers. And it's like one day he's in LA for breakfast and then he jumps to Tokyo for lunch or whatever. Like there's some cool little things there. It's Hayden Christensen. And what can you say more than that? So I'm happy his career's
one of
gone.
my things that I was questioning is can Doug Liman direct an ensemble movie?
Well, I
That's
mean,
my main concern. Whenever
isn't that what Swingers is?
Not
that's a
really.
two-man
I have not
show.
seen it. That's why I'm asking.
Swingers
Nah.
is two guys. It's a buddy
I'm talking
comedy.
ensemble like Suicide Squad, Watchmen.
Well,
You
that's the
know,
thing.
more than three main characters on screen at the same time.
David Ayer's first ensemble really was Suicide Squad.
Well, no,
Like,
but I mean,
Fury has a
Fury-
good amount of characters.
Like it's not like they're all leading the screen
But
at the
it's-
same time,
yeah.
but it's still
It's a
like you are able to get at least a group in there and they have a camaraderie, and that's really
a
the thing.
stepping
That's all you need.
Yeah.
a little.
You got Zack Snyder that was able to direct 300 people.
You know he did.
Not exactly.
No, I know that, but I'm just like saying that.
He directed like
In-
3 people and a lot of CG.
Yeah, I know. No, but he.
I mean,
but, know, it's like,
to be
these
fair,
are
whenever you
directors
think
that
about the movie,
can-
you can bring up Sucker Punch, and there is that group of girls there, and they all have their different,
Yeah.
distinctive personalities.
and that's an ensemble, and so
Yeah.
Zack Snyder can
that's
handle
There's
still
also
an
Dawn
ensemble.
of the Dead, which is about a group of survivors, and we get to
I'm
know
sure.
each and every one of them.
Again, it's
That's his
Zack
best movie.
Snyder. So it's like you
Eh.
keep saying the same director, the
You
same
brought
movie
him
for
up.
the same director.
I know. I'm just giving better.
But I'm saying that he can do an ensemble. I'm asking if Doug Liman can do an ensemble. Can he?
He wouldn't get low. Okay, look. It's not like he said, I want to make this movie, and Warner Brothers said, yeah, sure, go for it.
Right.
There was a meeting. They talked about it. They figured out a way. And I don't think there's a thing where it's like I can direct an ensemble or I can. If you're a good director, you're a good director. Like
Yeah.
if you know how to direct a person, get a performance, if you know how to get a story onto the screen, you know what the fuck you're doing.
Like
Unless,
Doug Liman's one of the
you're
last few
an
holdouts
entrepreneur.
in that he's not attached to franchises or anything. Everything he does is new, and it's like, you know what? When I see that name, it's not enough to get my ass in the seat, but
I'm not
it's enough.
salivating,
It's
but
enough for me
sure
to
it's
pay
good.
attention and be like, okay, what are you gonna do? I mean, Edge of Tomorrow, holy shit! You made one, like, even though it's an adaptation of a manga, you made one of the like biggest movies of that
movies,
summer,
yeah.
budget wise, that felt like an original piece of sci-fi that wasn't like everything else. Like,
I want to get a Groundhog Day Edge of Tomorrow combo pack. That'd be cool. I'd like that. Too bad they don't make combo packs anymore like that.
I saw it once. I saw Edge of Tomorrow once, and
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. Oh,
I
seen it
really
twice.
wasn't that impressed with it. Like, I thought it was good. I liked
'Cause
it.
everyone told you it was so good.
yeah, like no,
Yeah,
I
that's exactly
honestly
what-
that
I
movie
went
is
into
not
it
rewatchable
blind.
for me. It
Yeah.
I had a great time watching it the first time, and I thought it was great. But then after a while, it really felt repetitive. Like
That's the
it's
point.
still
Well, no
Groundhog
pun
Day
intended.
feels repetitive.
no, like I mean, it's just it doesn't have replay value for me,
I
unfortunately.
can see that. Yeah, I mean,
It's still
a
funny,
great-
and it's like I think if I'm
you
watching
already
it with a
know
group
what's
of
gonna
people,
happen
like
now.
it's probably something that'd be more fun to show to other people and watch them experience that for the first time and laugh along with it. But if you're watching it on your own just for fun, then nah, not really.
Like as much as I didn't really like it, I could see myself watching Primer again 1 or 2 more times just to try to get a better grasp of what.
No, like that's one. It's kind of like, and I know you fucking hated it, Blake, but some like My Dinner with Andre, where I pick up on bigger pieces as I keep rewatching it over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The reason I bring up this though isn't like to talk about Doug Liman, good job. It's more about to talk about X-Men's Marvel's X-Men franchise, or Fox's to be more accurate, and where they're going now, because this isn't the first time they've had trouble in the mutant verse. If you remember X-Men The Last Stand, same kind of thing happened. Bryan Singer left to make Superman. They were like, oh, what the fuck do we do? Oh, let's get Brett Ratner, who's never made a blockbuster
no.
like this.
What also happened was that Matthew Vaughn was working on it, and then he left.
That's it.
And then so then
And then
Brett
he
Ratner
did-
came in at the last
he did,
minute. That's what happened.
Fuck, I can't remember the name of that movie now. The First Class.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, so Brett Ratner, made the worst X-Men movie.
No.
No,
Origins Wolverine.
X-Men
Origins,
Origins.
yeah.
Origins is
X-Men
worse.
Unfortunately, Gavin Hood's a better director, but he was given the short straw on that one.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
that's
At
still
least he
like,
got a house.
I'm still baffled at the fact that X-Men Origins had a bigger budget, and they still made
just
his
that like
Wolverine
ending fight
claws look like shit.
that fight scene alone. Well, they had to look like shit. The idea was that this is Wolverine with bone claws
No, no,
before
no,
he
no,
had
no. Like when they're
adamantium.
metal, like he's literally it's a fucking ridiculous scene
He
because he's in the
had
bathroom.
actual.
He's
yeah.
looking in the
I
mirror
don't
at his
remember.
adamantium claws for the first time. Supposed to be a very big, powerful moment, and it's the fakest shit you've ever seen.
I
It
don't
looks
remember.
fucking awful, and then
Yeah,
you're
you
laughing,
need to
and then on
just
top of that,
rewatch it.
that
No,
scene
that's one of those
continues, and he's
movies-
tripping all over shit, and he's just destroying the bathroom sink and everything, and it's supposed to be funny. It's fucking awful.
That's
It's
one of those
almost-
movies
it's-
that I'll probably never rewatch unless like Hugh Jackman dies or something.
I won't rewatch it for any reason whatsoever.
I think if Hugh Jackman died, you'd probably watch it.
No,
Like, let me
no,
watch
no,
X-Men movies.
it's not gonna.
And sure, yeah, I'll watch that fucking one too.
I'd rewatch.
yeah.
No, I'd rewatch just X2 probably. Like I.
Just X2.
Yeah, just X2. Like that's.
I'd watch the Wolverine, his solo.
Oh well, no,
like
okay, that one too, because I like that and X2 are the only X-Men films I actually own.
Days of Future Past, good one too.
No, I tried It's not that rewatchable to me either. Honestly, it's a fun movie, but
I want to see the road cut still.
I didn't like it that much. Honestly,
I don't know. I want to see it. But anyway,
it's fun to watch just for the sake of it. But I
Fox-
thought that stuff was cut for a reason. But anyway, yeah, go on.
yeah, Fox. It's not their only movie. Even if Channing Tatum has a film in like development hell now. Just sorry, I love you, but your movie turned out to be a stinker. So far,
It's
anyway.
okay. He's gonna be a merman.
Yeah, exactly. Among other things, always busy. He's going to be a Men in Black agent. Lots of things. But anyway, they're making other movies. They're trying to extend this universe. They're already, they did Deadpool this year. They obviously know what they're doing. They announced something called New Mutants not too long ago that Josh Boone is doing, the guy that did like Fault in Our Stars. So they've got writers for that one. It's the guys that adapted Fault in Our Stars. They also adapted The Spectacular Now. So those aren't exactly good precursors for a spin-off movie for an X-Men, but they at least know how to write for teenagers, and I think that's the idea here with this one, or at least they're like young adults. It's like they're not They're more like, it's like the first class version of X-Men. Like they're the
Pre-X-Men.
stepping stones. Yeah, but it's not like X-Men's a spin-off. But then they also have that Legion show on FX that's coming out later this year. And they had to say about that one, this is the cool thing, that show is apparently going to play a big part in the future of the franchise. And it, along with another future yet to be announced, they're gonna stand alone while also telegraphing what's coming. So perhaps for whatever the main X-Men movie is after Apocalypse. I mean,
Well, they've already said that
Wolverine-
it's going to be set in the 90s.
Yeah, so we have the Wolverine final Hugh Jackman film that's coming out eventually, Old Man Logan or whatever they're going to call it, with
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart. So that's in the after Days of Future Past messed up Last Stand universe,
Yeah.
and then they have the next, reboot, whatever. First, it's so hard to even
I
talk
know,
about
it's
this.
like what Deadpool said. Is it McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines
Yeah.
are so fucking confusing.
It's
Well,
like,
I mean,
you
so
get
wait,
the
so
first
okay,
class
so
one,
basically, the good way to look, the way I think about it is
the first three half-
first class
then
basically
First Class-
created a new timeline. We don't
But
need
how?
to worry about anything
How?
else.
It's like
How?
Days of Future Past made a new. It's like this is the way I see it. It's like First Class is the first in the franchise. Then Days of Future Past happened. That fucked up the original trilogy, and now they're
Right.
going forward from there.
Right.
Like there's a convergence between the two. They became a
It's-
singular timeline.
it's like we
it's
have
still-
Days of Future
we have
Past
one
can be
trilogy.
part of both when you think about it. Because
It
if
is-
you look
it
at it
is
as the
both.
story of the first class team, then it's just it's the other ones coming into their timeline,
Exactly.
and that's
But
it.
I look
Or-
at it more.
Or you could
it's
look
a
at it
I look
vice
at it
versa.
more as like
First
you
Class
have
coming to them.
you have X-Men X2. Let's say that fucking X3 never happened,
No,
and
if
then
you,
you
if you
place
watch Days of Future Past, then it's still there.
It's still
No,
there.
because they don't deal with the Dark Phoenix saga in Days of Future Past.
That
Yeah, no, Jean Grey
gives them
dies,
at the end of the
like,
movie,
and then even
where he's like, "Oh, you're alive!" Like that whole thing.
yeah, the whole thing with
means that it's important.
Cyclops being still alive, that whole interaction there at the end, like that's
Okay,
That's an obvious
don't you
clue.
remember what what fucking Stewart says? He says you're going to be the only one that remembers both.
I guess
That's why.
But the
That is
fact
why
that
he freaks out.
that moment's for us though as an audience member. So not just we're the stories through Wolverine, but it's for us. It's the payoffs for us. We're like, oh, remember that shitty movie that people forgot happened? We're still referencing it, something like that.
Yeah, like
fan
it
fans
negates
got,
it in the timeline, and that's like, oh, so this shit never happened. You can pretend that it
yeah.
didn't exist in this timeline now, but it's still acknowledging the existence of the movie. It's not like it fully goes, hey, that didn't happen.
But anyway,
Yeah, I
Fox
guess.
got this New Mutants movie. They got a Deadpool sequel that's coming eventually. Another X-Men movie, potentially set in the 90s. Maybe another spin-off in the future, and at least 2 series to play with. So they're looking to do something big, I would
Wait, you
assume.
said 2 series to play with?
Yeah, that
I
Legion
know
show's coming out
Legion.
later, and then
Yeah.
there's another one that they haven't announced.
Oh, okay. I was
So
like, wait, I only know of Legion. That's the only one I knew about. So
it's it's a Mutant X. That show was like the bastardized version of X-Men without the properties. That was on like CLA5 back in the day. Like that
I
was
mean,
like you should. I don't think that's even available digitally.
one thing
Uh,
I'm hoping. I mean, the only thing I'm hoping for is the way they're dealing with the new timeline. As cheesy and as dumb as it would be, a
Watch out!
big
I
part
still
of
haven't
me,
seen Apocalypse, so no spoilers.
a big part of me really, really wants to see the yellow costumes. You
Um,
know, the
they
original.
did that in First Class, kind of.
Yeah,
If I
well,
remember
like
correctly.
They kind of
it was
did,
definitely a
but-
nod to that time, specifically,
Yeah.
not the actual yellow costumes themselves.
But I'm talking about like full blown. We grew up with the X-Men animated series costumes, and I really want to see that because I think
based
that
off
would
of,
be
like the Uncanny X-Men Jim Lee designs.
yeah.
So maybe, I mean, maybe that's where the '90s is gonna be. Maybe like there's a scene they kind of do like the Sam Raimi thing where the Spider-Man theme was used in all the movies, where like some kid is watching TV and it's the X-Men animated series. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Spider-Man show. What was the X-Men
Yeah, like
theme
it's
song?
not as memorable.
Yeah, they could do that. They could put that in the movie just like real quick. But they're gonna have to run out of gas eventually. They don't have Daredevil anymore. Fantastic Four is dead in the water. As much as Miles Teller says that he'd like to make another one, well,
Oh,
too
and
bad.
now fucking what's
They
her
won't make
name? My wife, Kate Mara, is saying that she wants to do the sequel.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they all want to do the
Yeah,
sequel.
it's
Besides,
a great cast, regardless of
obviously,
like
well,
the movie. Yeah,
I don't
Michael
think they
B.
can do
Jordan
it
has
now.
already moved on.
Exactly.
He's
He's already in the
realized
real Marvel universe. Like
you
he,
took away the
Exactly.
flame of that cast. Like, pun intended, absolutely. But seriously,
well,
like,
no shit, it was intended.
Yeah.
Who puts flame in a sentence like that unless you're gay?
no, it's true. He's the best part of that cast.
He's a flamer. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. No, I thought
then-
the best part was his dad, to be honest.
Really?
The black dad. Yeah. Thank you for your con, sir. Like that's the bum that Christian Bale, the dog, the bum with
Yeah.
the dog.
Right.
Yeah. You're so kind, sir. Thank you.
Al, you really smell like shit.
Yeah,
He
that
got
guy
a
really
job.
made something out of himself. Now that I think about it,
He did. He did.
Yeah. I mean, Christian Bale's fucking
Yeah,
crazy. So for all I know, hey, that didn't happen in the movie.
You're not a professional. You don't understand.
You
But
don't
I
get my joke.
get my joke. Eventually, I would assume that Fox is gonna do the Sony thing. That this, they're trying to make their own universe. It's kind of working so far. Even if I still haven't seen Apocalypse, but most people agreed that it wasn't the best outing. It still had pretty okay numbers.
No, but it's not something that's enough to like really destroy. I think what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a fun movie, but it's another X-Men movie.
I'll watch. No, yeah, I'll
That's
watch it.
all
I'll
it
watch it
is.
at home
Yeah.
in 3D on my PlayStation Virtual
Well, have
Reality.
fun. It's
okay?
just another X-Men movie. It's nothing substantial, and that's it.
But
Like
I
I think if criticism is like I don't know, it's just really that I guess to a lot of people it's okay. That's about it.
if
Well, I
I'm
mean,
right,
think-
and I feel I am, that Warner Brothers goes all into the fanboy orgasm, fanboyism, that
Fangasm.
fangasm. Thank you. That they cross over their TV stuff with their movie stuff, with their animated stuff, with all of it. If they do that, if they do like a Crisis on Infinite Earths or something like that, if they do one of those kind of things, which is totally possible, and I hope so, then Marvel would kind of be forced to try to unite all their properties. They already got the Sony stuff in the umbrella, obviously the regular MCU, but X-Men would be the last holdout. And if they want a battle for the major money, like how amazing would Infinity War be if the X-Men were in it?
I gotta say that it's kind of like it's almost like saying Christian Bale's Batman was gonna be
It's
in
possible.
Batman Superman.
Can be.
It doesn't fit.
It
I
does
want to
fit.
say
That's what I'm saying. It
no,
totally
because I want to
fits.
say that when you're pitting the way Bryan Singer has painted the X-Men universe and the way those characters are, they don't really mesh. They don't really match very well
No,
with
but
what
that's
Marvel is doing.
if you consider the new timeline that they're doing now, then yeah,
It
I
could
think
be
it
Yes.
could blend. If you like,
Yes, I do. I can see that.
if you
Yes,
consider
absolutely. But
like
I'm
stuff
saying
like
that
X2 an alternate universe, then no, I don't think that fits with Infinity War or
Yeah, with
just what
how
Marvel's doing now.
everyone, or not even
I
X2, but just the
completely could've-
first X-Men, the fact that they steal a senator and turn him into a mutant, you know? Like, if that happened back then why the fuck doesn't the whole world know about the Avengers before they save New York? And why aren't
Yeah.
there any other mutants besides Quicksilver and, like, Scarlet Witch? Because mutants are painfully absent besides Peter Parker from the MCU,
But he's not even a
and
mutant.
he's totally a mutant.
He's not a mutant though.
A
Mutant is when they're
mutated
born,
spider bit him, and now he's muted.
Yeah, but he's not a
radioactive.
genetically born mutant.
Oh,
though. Like,
okay,
that's
sure.
the
Yeah,
thing.
he wasn't born with genetically modified
He just
material, but he
inherit-
does
yeah.
have it.
He
He,
acquired
like
them.
he's there's a reason why Spider-Man's worked with the X-Men on multiple occasions. Like he's basically
Spider-Man's worked with everyone. He's like the whore of the MCU.
sure, but like he's that's a valid
yeah,
point.
not MCU, but well, yeah.
The Marvel universe.
Whatever.
But like it's not highly possible, but I can dream, and it's possible in what DC does that they could make a fucking team up super amazing event movie, like building up to the way that Marvel has with Infinity War for something like I said, like Final Crisis or something huge, where they bring in Adam West and Christian Bale and George Clooney and Val Kilmer and Michael Keaton, well, not Christopher Reeve, sadly. But everyone.
Well, I don't think they'll get Christian Bale at all. Like, just
I'm not saying
I see
they
that
will,
could.
but
It's
I'm
just for
saying
the type of performer that he is. You know, I'd
they
hate to ruin
could do
reality
it.
with your thought, but
No, that's what I'm saying. They could do it, and it would work. Bringing all of their actors, not just the Batman people, fucking bring in Jonah Hex and the shitty Green Lantern. Bring in
Oh,
everyone.
fuck.
They could
No.
do that because DC Stories, for a long time, since the mid 80s, have done huge crossover, breaking, destroying worlds with a parallel nature because it's a
Right.
multiverse, and it's called
Yeah.
the DC Extended Universe. It's not a singular one like Marvel has, it's an extended one. So
That
it's
is very true.
it's TV, it's comics, it's movies, it's all of that. And I think that
But
there's
it's way too much to juggle. It's way too much for people
right now,
to handle.
no, yeah, right
In
now
general.
it is. Like,
Think
what
about it
if,
like this: if they
no.
started this, that you would go from saying, "Okay, you need to watch these 3 movies," and then after watching these 3 movies, you have to
That's
watch
how Marvel is
3
right now.
seasons.
Right now,
Agents of Shield has very limited connection.
well, the
Aside from
threads are
Agent-
still
that's
there,
because
but I
Marvel-
don't think they're. You know, you
Marvel
can
is a
still
piece of
do
shit,
it.
and they don't know how to make movies.
I don't think
And
like
TV
the thing
shows
is
work.
those things are still they can still stand on their own and have those loose threads there, but I don't think there's anything that's requiring you to
Yeah.
watch them.
Just
It's like you might still hear
being a
about them
fanboy.
later on, and then it's just like okay, so that happened. You'll be informed no
But
matter
look
what.
how much stuff. There's so much in the MCU. There's Agents of Shield.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Agent Carter. There's all the little one shots. Obviously, there's
Right.
Daredevil, Jessica Jones. There's gonna be Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and also the Defenders. All of their
Right.
countless movies, and there's a ton of them. The Avengers movies. You also got Cloak and Dagger, which is coming out. The Runaways on Hulu. They have a lot of content. Big Hero 6, technically.
But that's
That
not MCU.
if fuck them, if Stan Lee gets a cameo and is based on a Marvel property, it's
Did he have a
MCU.
cameo?
Yes,
Yes.
he's at the end of the credits. So
Like,
that's a
the
Marvel.
voice. I mean, there was wait.
No,
they
it
had a
is
picture of
Stan
him, didn't
Lee.
they?
It is
It's
his
Stan
likeness.
Lee.
It is his voice. It is Stan Lee.
I'm asking.
It
I
is
have not
his
seen the
name.
movie since it came out, and I forgot it because I didn't care for it. That's
I'm pretty
What?
sure.
yeah. I didn't like Big
You
Hero
messed
6.
up.
You know this.
Oh, you're
Oh
weird.
wow!
You're weird.
I'm sorry. I
Um,
thought you did.
But there's already so much MCU content out there that if you were to watch all of it, and they did do a grand scale story that connected everything, which maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe it'll be Infinity War Part 2, that it would be a lot of work for someone to sit down and ingest all of that to get the big picture. Whereas on the DC side of the coin, since Christopher Reeve is dead, almost everyone has seen those Christopher Nolan trilogy and at least two, probably three of the pre-Batman movies. They know what Adam West looks like in the Bat cowl and suit. He has that animated movie Return of the Caped Crusaders coming out in a month. So that's already showing that they're trying to bring him back. I think it's gonna be what happens, or at least I can dream. I'm pretty sure Michael Keaton would be game, especially if he's the fucking Vulture and he's making Birdman. Like, why not? What's Val Kilmer got else going on? Nothing. George Clooney, he'd be harder to get than Christian Bale, like definitely. Like George
I
Clooney,
think Christian Bale feels, or I'm sorry, George Clooney feels like utter shit about Batman because he even
might be
admitted
able to be like
that he
guilty.
single-handedly ruined it.
that wasn't
Well,
him.
no,
That
it
was Joel
wasn't
Schumacher.
him saying that it was his fault. It's just he felt like he was part of something he shouldn't have
Killed the
been.
franchise. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I mean,
it's not like he said it was all his fault, but I mean, George Clooney could be brought in as like seeing that as some sort of form of redemption. But
because I'm not saying do something like make Chris O'Donnell the Robin that died in Batman versus Superman. No, no, no. I'm saying converge the universes, have the crossover happen. They're already doing this shit on the Flash show on the CW. He just like went to Earth 2 and Earth 3 and has met other Flashes and stuff. And then also like the way it ends, he did the Flashpoint. So they're already fucking with the timeline on TV and all
What
those
did you
shows.
say? He did what? The
Flashpoint.
Flash coin? Oh, I think
Flash-
he said Flash coin. I was like, what's
yeah,
a
I thought I
Flash
heard
coin?
that too.
Look, sorry. So I just I hope that happens, and that would really be a great counter for everything that Marvel is doing because there's a flaw there. The fact that you have all of these Marvel movies. When's Blade going to get another movie? Okay, I would love to see that. That'd
I would
be
love to
awesome.
see a good Blade movie after, because I mean, the only
It's
one I
gonna be-
really enjoyed was, and I mean, I fucking loved it, was the first one.
Okay,
It's the
you have
fir-
not
like-
seen Blade 2?
No, Blade
No, I've
2 is
seen all
okay.
three
Yeah,
of
that's
them.
Del Toro.
Yeah,
like
Blade
Blade 2
2
is great. That's the best one.
No,
Yeah,
Blade, no, the first one's the best
The
one.
first one is superior, dude.
Blade
No, it's Del
2 has
Toro's
better
Blade. Are you
creature
kidding me?
effects. I don't get fuck him and his movies, okay? I'm not sucking his dick. Not everything he's ever made
Even
is
though you
great.
love his Twitter.
Because he's great on Twitter.
Yeah,
I
no,
want to go
fucking-
to LACMA
Blade 2
and,
is the full-
and see his
The
exhibit.
first Blade is
Blade
okay.
2 is-
It's really
No,
yeah.
Blade
has an awesome
created
club
the
scene, that's
Marvel
about it.
movies that exist now. Without
That
Blade,
is true.
there would not be superhero movies the way that they are now on the Marvel side of things. Before Blade, there was nothing. That is the catalyst. Before Blade, they had Howard the Duck, which tanked. They had The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, which tanked. They were so desperate for a movie, they gave Roger Corman the rights to the Fantastic Four, and they never even actually put that movie out. They had a Nick Fury made-for-TV movie with David Hasselhoff. They were all bad. Everything they ever had was bad. The live-action stuff with Incredible Hulk, with Bruce Banner, all of that stuff was not good. Okay?
And I don't think the first Blade is
And
very
then
good.
they
I think
made
it's
Blade.
an okay movie. I think the first X-Men for Bryan Singer was the real kickoff point. Spider-Man's where it really took off, and then it got perfected from there as it went off. But yeah, the first Blade, I'm just really.
Rewatch
I
the
think-
first Blade. You're
yeah,
wrong.
you need to rewatch.
No. I
It's
watched that
really
movie for the
good.
first time like 3 years ago. I was not a fan of it. Blade 2 was the first one I
saw that when I was a kid.
I saw Blade 2 when I was a kid. First Blade,
I saw Blade in theaters too.
Yeah, like no, the Blade started everything. Like they are indebted to Wesley Snipes.
It was
And
more
what
of
he
like what Blade did was kind of like they made a comic book movie, and they're like, oh, so they're
all made a
not
movie about
all
vampires.
shitty movies.
No,
That's what it
that's,
was.
that's not fair.
no, but,
That's
I
not
mean
true.
Blade was
'Cause
not that
Batman
well received. I
Returns
think it was more
and
mixed.
Batman were out at that time, and also
That's true. That's true.
and Superman 1 and 2.
Yeah, but your point is
and
that
also
this is the
Yeah.
first kick from Marvel, and it's really,
from Marvel.
I mean, this is more like, if anything, how people are reacting to DC now. That's what Blade is, because it has mixed reactions even right now. Like, I'm not a fan of it. A lot of people
it's
still aren't.
very, very dark. It's a hard R. There's kick-ass music and scoring. The vampires look awesome. Brad Dourif, or not Brad Dourif, I mean
Steven Dorff.
Steven Dourif. He's awesome in it. I like what's his name, Whistler, who not Ben Mendelsohn.
No. Is it?
Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson. Like the whole cast is great in that movie. It's just Blade 2 is not as good. Ron Perlman is the only good thing in my opinion about Blade 2 and the creature effects. But I think the movie is kind of I don't know.
I like
it just
the
set
camera
up-
work.
Agree to disagree.
I
like
really
the
like
camera
when they
work,
go
dude. I
into
like
the
watching-
sewers and
Yeah.
you have that bomb on the back of Ron Perlman's head. Like there's some real cool stuff in that, but like it's the fact that he went from Chronos to Blade 2. It's like you made one vampire movie, you can make another one. Del Toro, do it.
Well, I mean, that was also, I
Would
think,
you really
Blade
consider
was his
Chronos
real,
a vampire
like,
movie?
Mimic
Yeah,
was
of
his
course I mean.
first Hollywood flick, and then Blade 2 was the one that brought him back. So, I mean, like, it's that and then Hellboy that kind of got him more saddled in
Oh, I love
Hollywood.
Hellboy.
Mimic is a scary movie.
Well,
Mimic is fucking awesome though.
That's a scary fucking
I
movie.
still have not seen it because I want to see the director's cut first.
I didn't even know there was a
Yeah,
director's cut.
that's the one because yeah, there's I guess the one that came out was not his, and he had not that great of an experience in Hollywood when he first got there.
It's funny. I love Guillermo del Toro, but I'm not like a fanboy for his work.
Neither
Yeah,
am I,
Pan's
but I
Labyrinth.
really like. There's just such
Pan's Labyrinth is a masterpiece, but that's the only film of his that I'm like, yeah, if I saw him in person, I'd need to shake his hand for that one. The rest of them, I'm like, oh, they're good movies. I like him as a person, but I'm not like, oh, bow down to auteur filmmakers
well,
or
I'm
whatever.
not like that in general to anybody, but I mean, like, I tend to like his produced stuff more, honestly. But yeah, like, I am a fan of the stuff he directs. Like, there's a lot, even if I don't love it, there's still enough passion just
Oh yeah,
put in there that
Crimson
it's like
Peak
I can't
wasn't
help.
the best movie I've ever seen, but it was great in terms of what it was
Like
and
yeah,
so
like
specific.
I still want to see Crimson Peak again. It's not like I'll buy it, but you know, like there's so much put in that with like there's so much love in there that's like yeah, when I'm watching it, it's just it feels like cinema, you know, which is not something that most movies being made today feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts a lot of heart in his movies.
I mean, like yeah,
And
Crimson Peak,
I
like yeah, I
commend him for
recently like I want to watch that again now. But also, yeah,
I might
Pacific
watch
Rim
that.
is
I
a
still
ton
have
of
to
fun,
watch it to
honestly.
begin with.
I've been thinking about Crimson Peak a lot actually, and
I've
it's
never
probably
seen
because
it.
you should. It's probably like it'd be a great date movie around Halloween. It's not a horror film. It's
I
a
know.
gothic romance, and
Yeah, I remember reading that.
It's his
It's
Hitchcock film. That's the best way to put it.
yeah,
No, because it's a lot like Rebecca.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot like Rebecca, but it's I liked it. I mean, if I saw it in theaters, I might have been disappointed, but it's still a gorgeous film, and I think it's flat out insulting that it wasn't nominated for best set design
Seriously.
or wardrobing or anything because no one makes a big budget period movie like that, especially if it's genre, and it's really sad that it didn't get any kind of accolades because I don't know, it's
So
just
bummed
sad.
I lost that pint glass from the Alamo.
Sorry.
You lost
I
it?
told you it broke on the plane back, right?
Oh, that's not losing it. You broke it.
I didn't break
Yeah,
it;
that's
they
the
broke it.
difference.
But
Well, in
Should've
general,
checked.
you can't say
it was
you
lost
shouldn't say you
because of
lost
that.
it.
Yeah, no, it felt like whatever. What's the next item, Brian?
Next item is the tech and VR section, aka my favorite thing on the show. We talked about it earlier. 45 days left until the PSVR. Before that comes out, Sony's going to be having a press conference on December 7th. This is something I've already said before. I initially thought that they were going to show off the PS4 Neo, talk about PSVR and all that stuff. There's going to be another thing there, and it's the PS4 Slim. It's already all over the internet. You can see photos. You can watch videos of people turning it on. There's more news that's coming out. Apparently, it's going to have 5 gigahertz. It's going to support 5 gigahertz for Wi-Fi, which means that it's not going to be shitty because the worst thing about the PS4 is its Wi-Fi. Other things that are going to be at this press conference, they're going to be showing off. It's already actually available, but you can get this little USB dongle for PC, so you can do PS Now on your PC or Mac. Lots of stuff. I would assume this is what I think is going to happen because they've already announced. They've basically it's been confirmed now that the Slim PS4 that's coming out is going to replace the regular PS4. So current PS4s are going to stay the price they are. No, I take that back. PS4 is going to drop to $300, and that's going to be the launch point for the Slim model.
But this
And
is
then-
just a rumor.
No, the PS4 Slim is real. Like I said, you can see.
No. I'm talking about
real
the price drop.
pictures.
The
Yeah, no,
price drop is a
This
rumor.
is me. This isn't a rumor. This is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So the Slim model is going to replace the version they have now. It's going to drop to $300, and then the Neo is going to be shown off, and that's going to cost $400, and that's going to be the 4K. That's going to be able to play 4K movies, and it's going to work better with the PlayStation Virtual Reality. So I'm
So
probably going to buy a Neo.
So here's my question for you. Is your guess that by the end of this year, we are going to have a total of 3
Two.
PlayStation systems? Are you saying that
Two.
we're gonna have the PS4, then we're gonna have the PS4 Slim,
No.
and then they're gonna have the PS Neo?
No, I'm saying the PS4 Slim is going to replace the PS4 in much of
Oh,
the
okay.
same way that well, not for Xbox because they're fucking stupid and they called their model something it shouldn't have been called. But right now, there's
Scorpio.
no, I'm not even talking about that. There's the Xbox One, there's
Yeah.
the Xbox One S, and then there's
Yeah.
also going to be the Scorpio come next year. So by
Right.
then they might stop producing the regular Xbox One, but there's a potential, and also there's the Elite out there. So currently there's already three different retail options you can buy when buying an Xbox One, and there's going to be a fourth eventually. With PlayStation, there's only going to be two. There's going to be the PS. It might not even be called the Slim. It might be called the Slim. It might just be called the new PS4. There's going to be the PS4, and there's going to be the Neo. And the only difference is going to be that one allows you to watch 4K, and the other is exactly what you already have. It's
And
just smaller.
What I'm pissed off about is I fucking bought when I bought my PS4.
It's $400.
No. It's not the price that I'm pissed about.
Mhm.
I went out of my way to buy the fucking limited
Batman
edition Batman one. Yeah.
You're fucking you're cool in the gang then, man. What do you got? I got a plain ass black one. I got nothing on it.
Well,
They're
no,
never
it's
gonna
not
make
that.
that system
It's the
ever
fa-
again. It's worth money.
No, I know that, but it's like now I'm gonna have technically two systems for PlayStation 4. I'm gonna have the Arkham Knight edition, and then I'm gonna have the fucking Neo when it comes out.
Do you have a 4K TV?
No,
No, why would you buy a Neo?
because I plan on getting a 4K TV.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, my reason for buying the Neo, I'm probably not going to buy it right when it comes out. I might. If I'm already, I said at the top of the show, I'm spending $550 on this virtual reality headset. Most likely, the Neo is going to output VR better. It's going to process it better. It's going to have better
Yeah.
graphical fidelity. If I'm already spending over $500 on something, wouldn't I want the best experience? You
I
know, it's
agree.
like when you buy a $100,000 car, you put the most expensive gas in it. You don't put the cheap gas. You know,
Right.
and so I'm gonna have to do that, as just because otherwise I'm gonna go. Oh, I really wish I had that. And probably what I'm gonna do is sell my current PS4, take some of that money so I can buy the Neo. But it's still a rumor. We got just over 7 days. If you want to be specific, we got 10 days until it comes out or is announced anyway. The Slim is almost guaranteed to have a street date of October 13th. Like I'm pretty sure it's going to be released. It's going to be on the shelves the day the VR is. The Neo, I would hope it's the same day and they announce a bundle. You get the PS4 Neo, you get the VR, you get the controllers, you get a game in the box, and it's $1,000.
I'd do it.
But it might be like little later, like maybe it's like Black Friday. I don't know. But
Well, they haven't even announced Neo yet. Neo is
It's
still in the rumor phase, though.
no, it's announced during E3 when it was like a month before E3 happened. Someone on NeoGAF found like stuff, and everyone talked about it on Kotaku and everywhere, and it was all over the internet.
Uh-huh.
They're like, "Oh, there's this thing called the Neo. It's gonna basically have 4K," and this is before the Xbox One Slim was even a thing.
I
And
just remember hearing about it. I remember hearing that the Neo was going to happen. I remember hearing all about the bells and whistles that it was going to have, how it was going to just be Sony's answer to the kill-all systems. And, but then again, it's like it went dormant. Like, you didn't hear anything. E3 came and went, and Sony even admitted that they weren't planning on making the story for
the
Neo.
reason it went dormant is because right before E3, the Wall Street Journal talked to Andrew House, the CEO of Worldwide Studios, not Worldwide Studios, but like the CEO of PlayStation, basically.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, we do have another system. We're not showing it off this week. We're gonna be announcing that later down the road." And it got buried because they're like, "Oh, it's real. Whatever. We'll find out about it whenever we find out about it." And they did the exact opposite of what Microsoft did. They at E3 said, we're going to show you the games that you already love, but guess what? You got a new system in a couple of months. It's the Slim. It has 4K. I can do this." And then at the end of the press conference, they went, "By the way, next year, there's going to be another system." So on the same day, they told you that two systems are coming out. So why the fuck would you buy the new one when you already know another one's going to come out? Like, whereas Sony's doing this whole mystery thing, like, anytime a leak happens, if you've watched House of Cards or like The West Wing or something like that, leaks are always internal. That's why it's a leak. Someone opened
Yeah.
their mouth when they shouldn't have. Chances are, more than not, that whoever is responsible for the Slim leaks, the PS4 Slim being out there, all the pictures and videos and stuff, works for Sony, and this was their way because this leak happened a couple of days ago, like
Yeah.
2 weeks after the Xbox One Slim came out. No one's talking about the new Xbox anymore. They want to know what's coming on at Sony, so it's almost a guarantee. Like I said, we're gonna find out all the details about PSVR. They're gonna cement everything, trophies, all that stuff, cinema mode, everything. They're going to show
I
off the
just want to
Slim.
know.
They're going to show off the Neo. They're going to show off this new USB dongle. And I really hope that they announce some games or like a bundle, like I said, or like for instance, like here's Final Fantasy VII remake gameplay, or like something like that. Like they show off something that everyone wants, so we can go, ooh, wow, ooh, like yes.
I think more than anything, before I would cement my feet and say I'm gonna buy a Neo,
Mhm.
I want PlayStation to say, you know what? We know the system is a big deal. We understand this and that. We know your concerns. Backwards compatibility for all PS4
It's not possible.
games. How? How is that not possible?
A PS4 can't pay a PS3 because they have different processors. They
No, I
invented a
said
processor.
I said the Neo be backwards compatible
Oh no,
with
yeah,
PS4
for sure.
games.
No, yeah, of course it's gonna
Because
happen.
they were already like
No, that's
talking
fine.
about
No,
how they're
no,
gonna
that's gonna happen.
have, specific games for the Neo.
No, this is the way it's going to work, or at least this is the way it's rumored. It's going to work the exact same way the Xbox One Slim works. Basically, it's the exact same game, but when you play it on the system, it can look better. And
Yeah, so
so
it's just gonna
games,
yeah.
yeah, games are going to have patches. They're going to have patches the day the system comes out, and it's going to have to allow 4K upconverting, and it's going to unlock like another graphical core or have access to more RAM modules or whatever just to run better. So for instance, instead of the game being 60 frames per second, it could be potentially 100 or something like that. Like it doesn't change the graphics, it runs smoother. So yeah, no, the Neo isn't going to have its own games. It's possible, but if you do that, you splinter your user base. Because like, let's say we're using me as an example, or you already have your PS4 games, not even just your physical games, but you already have your digital games, your huge
Right.
digital library. The Neo comes out and they go, all those games you got, guys, sorry, they don't work. No, their stock would
Fucking
drop.
useless.
Yeah, their stock would drop so fast it would be sad. Like no one's that stupid. Like the Scorpio is gonna play Xbox One games, except the difference with that is that they're gonna have games that are like fully optimized for Scorpio and probably look like shit on the regular Xbox. Well, not like shit, but in comparison.
Well, that's what
And
I'm talking about.
it's probably gonna be something similar to this, where it's like any studio currently, like we'll use God of War as an example, the new God of War.
Yeah.
Pretty damn sure the footage we saw was being shown on a Neo. Okay, like that was the developer Neo, and they're already making the games for it because they have the developer kits like 3 or 4 years before the system comes out usually. In this case, maybe it was like 2 or 3 because the PS4 is already there and it's like the same architecture.
Yeah.
So they've already been making games for this. Like maybe not Gran Turismo Sport, but Gran Turismo 6 or not 6, I mean Gran Turismo 7 most likely. The new Grand Theft Auto most likely. Like all of the big heavy hitter franchises that we haven't actually got this generation, they're probably being made on the Scorpio or the Neo. And yet, they're constrained. Don't screw over our consumers. Make it work on both. Make it look pretty on both. Just make it look prettier on the new fancy thing so they'll
Do
buy
you
it.
think that Grand Theft Auto 5 being
6.
ported over to No. Grand Theft Auto 5 being ported over to the PS4, do you think that was done to hold us over for both 6 and the PS Neo?
No. The reason that they ported it over was the same reason that everything is getting ported over. When a new generation starts and they don't know how to make games, they just do remasters. More than
Yeah.
half of the games on the Wii U are fucking Wii games or GameCube games. More than like half the games on 3DS or DS games or N64.
Yeah.
Same like PS3. You know how many remasters they made of PS2 games? We were talking about earlier Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 0, 1. Like all those are in HD. Grand Theft Auto, Devil May Cry, Like there are so many. They're gonna be doing Arkham Asylum, Arkham City soon. Next month, BioShock is coming out. Like it's just what they're doing right now. It's a stopgap because if you really think about it, there haven't been that many really true must plays this generation of gaming. Like yeah, Uncharted 4 is really good.
The
Uh,
Witcher,
yeah, I was gonna say The Witcher.
Metal
Uh,
Gear.
but see, that's on both. Like there's so many games that were on both. Like Destiny was on both. Grand Theft Auto was on both. Like there's so many that were in between. I'm saying like only right now, like
Arkham.
Witcher, yeah, Arkham Knight, The Witcher, Uncharted 4. But like on PlayStation anyway, that's all I can really think of. Like even
Bloodborne.
like I don't play those games, but I can see why. Well, like Dark Souls 3, you could say the same thing. But I'm saying like that must play, the one that's driving system, because Uncharted 4, it got really good reviews. Not everyone played it. Like Overwatch is a bigger game than Uncharted 4 is, okay? Uh that they still need that game, like a GTA 6 or a Red Dead Redemption sequel or a new BioShock or like because Fallout 4, like the same thing. It's like that's just a new Fallout. Like it didn't really change anything enough that people went, "Ooh, wow!" Like
It
when
didn't break
Massive,
any new ground.
yeah, like the
It
new
looked
Mass
pretty, and that
Effect,
was it.
exactly. The new Mass Effect, it's gonna be hopefully that one of those things because like Star Wars Battlefront, no one fucking talks about that because why would you? So I'm still waiting on that game. The Last Guardian in October, in my opinion, is gonna be one of those, even though it straddled the generations and went from being PS3 to PS4. Final Fantasy 15, same case, even though that got delayed, and that's the same thing. It was developed for PS3, it was pushed to PS4
Yeah.
because we still need one of those like straight up, just legitimate, not a next title, not a new installment, but this was made for that with that in mind. Because even something like Until Dawn, that was supposed to be a PS3 game. Like
Yeah, I remember
most of
that.
the games like that, it's just it's sad. Like we don't have that true must play. Like we don't have the BioShocks and you know like the Fallouts and stuff like that. It's all installments now. It's like a sports franchise, or it's a long gestating series, or it's something that everyone's already played. And here's the next one. And I wish that we had more. Like it doesn't really make sense that there isn't something like, ooh, you haven't heard of that? It's this. Like, because I was playing Titanfall 2 earlier, pretty damn kick ass, and you know,
But that's on
that,
Xbox.
and the new one's on number two is going to be on PS4 also,
See,
and
that's
so
something that's always bothered me. Why do they do that? I mean, are they going to port over Titanfall to PS4 so that people can play the story of the first one and understand what's going on? Or is this going to be a completely separate story? And if that's the
to
case,
make
why
you
the fuck
laugh,
call it Titanfall 2? Why
no, to
not
make you
call it
laugh.
just Titan?
Titanfall doesn't have a franchise. All it has is online play. And it was only on Xbox because it was published with them in mind, because Respawn didn't wasn't in cahoots with EA yet, and so they needed it to be on Microsoft because if it wasn't on Xbox, it wouldn't exist. And they announced like basically right when Titanfall came out that the next one was going to be on PS4. Uh, but no, the better example would be something like Rise of the Tomb Raider. And the reason that that was on Xbox for a whole year before coming to PlayStation is because the same exact thing. Microsoft threw money at them. They didn't help with the development, like people want to say. They just threw money at them. They said, you know what? If you make this an exclusive for a certain amount of time, we'll give you X million dollars. And they said, of course, why not? Why wouldn't we do that? We
Yeah.
need money. We need to work on our Final Fantasy games. Sure, do it. Like Square
We need
Enix
to
is
work on our Final Fantasy game and then delay it for another 6 months.
I really don't give a shit. After living through two Uncharted 4 pushbacks, uh, and The Last Guardian for not even knowing how long that game was missing. It was on my Amazon wish list for like 4 years before they even announced it again.
And
Um,
then Arkham got pushed a couple times.
that wasn't like a big push. Like that was minor, and like that was like to hold me over. I bought my PS4 when like I was like I need a PS4 for Uncharted 4. I need it for Arkham Knight, and I got Arkham Knight shortly after I got my PlayStation. So it like I bought it Black Friday. I was expecting it in Christmas or whenever it was supposed to be, and I
Yeah.
waited till like February or March. Like it was only a couple of months. I didn't really care. Uncharted was the real one. I was like, you motherfuckers, like making me wait this long because they pushed that one like 8 months. Like when you push Final Fantasy 15 2 months after it's already been in development for over a decade, that's small potatoes. I really couldn't give a shit about that. It'd be like if I don't know. There's another example for that. Like that's really like the equivalency of like Chinese democracy or like detox or you know something like that. Like it's one of those games. Like there's not many games like that anymore. We're like, oh, when's that? Like the Final Fantasy VII remake, I guess you could kind of call that too, or like Kingdom Hearts 3, like all the Square Enix games, anything that they made.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they just put out Deus Ex, so that's supposed to be good. So maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, that's another thing is that I played Human Evolution or Revolution, which one,
Yeah,
whatever
the
that.
last one, yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, and I'm wondering if Mankind Divided is entirely different.
Oh no, I could have got it for $5 and I didn't do it. So
Wait, you could have gotten Mankind Divided for $5?
yeah, I didn't do it. I could have got No Man's Sky for $5 and I didn't do it. Like I'm
How
trying
did
not
you
to.
manage?
I didn't manage.
No, but
I'm
how did you
trying not
manage to get that deal?
It's a secret, but it didn't fall off a truck. It was gonna be digital, but I no
Uh,
I have so many digital games that I never even play. My backlog is so big that I try not to buy things anymore unless I think I'm gonna buy them. So for instance, right now, like there's a Capcom Humble Bundle for PS4, and for $15 you get a ton of games. Well, it's not on PS4, it's on PS4 and PS3. You get a ton of games. You get Resident Evil HD and Zero HD for your console of choice. You get like Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Devil May Cry trilogy in HD, a whole bunch of shit. Remember Me, like seriously, a great amount of games, and you pay what you want. You either pay $1 or 15. You pay 15 to get all of them. You pay $1, you only get some of them. I want to do it, but I'm like, I'll never play those Resident Evil games. And then a part in the back of my head, I'm like, well, you already own Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You might, and also like a couple other games. I was like, well, you might as well just get those too because you don't own Zero. I'm gonna try not. Like if they had Beautiful Joe on there, that's what they should make a Beautiful Joe sequel. That'd be awesome.
I really wanted to play the Resident Evil HD remake and Resident Evil Zero.
Get them if you got $15. You can get them digital right now. Go to humblebundle.com and you
But I
can
mean,
down.
that's the thing is that those are the only two that I'd want, and I don't. I mean,
Well,
is 15
both
good
of
for that?
both of those sell for more than 15 a piece. So you're getting both of them plus a lot of other stuff, and the proceeds go to charity.
Oh, okay.
So it's an easy sell. Like you also get like Okami and a couple. I wish I didn't already own Okami. I own Okami on PS2 and on PS3, and so it's like, do I want another copy? Why not? No. I wish that was on PS4. That'd be cool. Let's get back to the show though, so Steve can talk. And sit silent for a little bit.
Yeah,
nothing
I
to
just
contribute
realized
there.
that.
This is the tech and VR section still. We were talking about PSVR in the press conference. Hideo Kojima, big guy, not a big fan of Metal Gear Solid, but he's still a big name. Death Stranding, we'll see what the fuck that is. He just joined Prologue Immersive, and they're currently working on VR stuff. He's going to be part of their advisory board. I don't really know exactly what else they've made, but the fact is that they have a big name talent that's a visionary working on VR for them. So, you got him, you got Steven Spielberg at the virtual reality company, not Oliver Stone, Ridley Scott's already like kind of toyed with it. Bryan Singer is a big name. There's a lot going on. Speaking of Bryan Singer, we'll just jump to that right now. Like Hollywood's taking this seriously. It's not just video games. It's not just, the court system, like I said at the top. It's not just the medical field. Next month, there's going to be a big event in October, actually, not next month, called VR on the Lot, on the Paramount backlot. It's going to have keynotes by Robert Stromberg, who works at the virtual reality company. He did the Martian Experience. And also Bryan Singer. Fox, Sony, Disney, Warner Brothers, NBC Universal, DreamWorks Animation, Oculus Rift, HEC, and even Epic Games are going to be there in attendance. It's being thrown by VR Society. And like the main reason for this event is to try to make consistent language for marketing. They want to call them VREs, virtual reality experiences. That way everyone has a certain term they're throwing around. But there's a lot of people there. It's super expensive. I looked up at tickets, I think it's like $350 for one day and then like $450 for both days. But this is like an insider event. Like if you work in the industry and you're playing with VR, you're gonna be there. Like this isn't the VR LA convention. This is tastemakers trying to make their buddies realize this is how we're doing it and why. So I have a feeling that whenever that is, that's gonna be like the week before the PSVR comes out. We probably might just have a 2 cent show where I just talk only virtual reality for 2 hours. That'd be fun for me, just for me. But that event, it's proof that Hollywood's interested. Like I said, Kojima, I can't imagine what the fuck he's gonna do with virtual reality. Like, this isn't necessarily saying that he's gonna be creating stuff, but I would assume he will eventually down the line. But he's helping just create the language before it's even developed.
Yeah, like this, it's a new thing, and like it's a major shift in entertainment. Like, this isn't anything like 3D 7 years ago, like, and people sort of embracing that, like,
80 years ago.
well, no, I mean the resurgence of it, like a post Avatar, like that was brief. Like this is.
God damn it.
It's still going on. I saw Kubo and Two Strings in 3D. Looked great.
Wait,
Go
no,
see
no.
it.
Like
Definitely
there's
see it in
people
3D.
like now it's like a love it or hate it thing. It's no longer the next thing with 3D. It's just it's a tool.
Yeah,
It
no,
can
yeah.
be used, and people
Well, that's the
it
thing,
gets
though.
exploited even in China.
It kind of is, though. It kind of fucking is. And the reason is that the cheapo VR cameras that like LG and Samsung make,
Mm-hmm.
they're called quote unquote VR cameras, they just record 360 degrees. Like, you can do the same thing on your phone. You can download the Google Cardboard app, take quote unquote VR pictures. They're just straight up 360 panoramas that are mapped to work well. It's not 3D. Real VR is 3D 360 with 3D audio. And so if you're not making 3D content currently, you're going to be left behind. Like, we were talking, I think it was 3 weeks ago now, about the whatchamacallit, the GoPro VR rig that's coming out. That's not 3D. So any content you make on that, even though it's going to look amazing, I think it's even in 4K or 2K at the very least, is not 3D. And you
For
can
VR,
tell
that's a big
right
deal.
away. Yeah, when you're doing VR and it's not in 3D, it's a big deal. Like, it doesn't seem like reality. It is flat. So if you're watching a flat screen still, whether that be in a movie theater or at home on your TV or on your phone, 2D is fine. It's perfectly fine. But as soon as you put that device on your head, when your peripheral vision is only looking at a screen, oh man, it's a world of difference. So I think 3D is still going to develop. It's still going places. It's just, yeah, I agree. Like, it isn't. Oh, that
But
movie
it's
came
more
out.
like saying, hey, like 3D would
But
be a
in 3D,
facet
guys.
of VR. Like, like that's
Yeah.
that's just a new tool to use to create. Whereas this is like a whole
Exactly,
new
yeah.
piece of technology. It's a whole new way for the public just to ingest everything in general,
Like,
and it can be delivered on a far more massive scale than 3D can.
The best thing to come out of the 3D phase that happened post Avatar is that it prepared people for making VR content, like stereo cinematography or stereography rather. You're already well versed in that, then you have a natural jumping. You can jump more naturally to VR
Yeah.
content since you know how to work with a camera with two
And we can
lenses for
finally
every
ditch
angle.
the fucking glasses too. That's the big thing.
Well, glass is
That's
way less
still a
than
ways down the
headset.
road.
Yeah.
No, I mean, come on,
Is
with VR, because you don't need them. Like, it's
And
already
you
there in
can
the
never
headset.
ditch the glasses. Four eyes. Sorry.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, you're okay. I don't know how it is or all of them, but apparently in PSVR, glasses are fine. Like, they designed the headset with glasses, and so most of the
Right,
first-hand
but, like,
accounts
do
I've
you
read.
need stereoscopic glasses? Is what I'm asking.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no.
talking about.
The
Is that you can
headset,
ditch those.
the lenses create that effect.
yeah.
But what I was saying is that you still have something that you're still
So
aware.
you still have to have
It's
something. Yeah, I get that, but I'm just it sounds it's not like something that's like dark and dim and that obnoxious in that sense. The thing that people
Yeah.
typically complain about with 3D.
Yeah, I mean, I think that with 3D, I mean, I've never been a huge
Yeah,
fan,
I know.
but there have been movies where I just like I see it and I'm just like, okay, I'm slowly being won over with 3D, and then it's like they push
There's
it,
a way to
they push
use
it too much.
Yeah, like I mean,
It-
They just
3D is-
keep pushing it. That's the
it's
thing.
like-
They keep doing. Oh, we're converting every fucking movie into
it's
3D.
like go
It's
back
like,
to
it
China.
doesn't
Even there,
now.
like audiences there are becoming aware of it now because they put Jason Bourne out there in 3D for some fucking reason, and it's not doing well there because
bullshit.
it like the majority, like the very large majority. I think it's like 95% of the theaters in China are only showing it in 3D, so that's the only way they can see it. And
Well, no shit. 3D movies cost more.
yeah, like and
More
it's
expensive tickets equals more box office growth.
and this is like the same fucking thing that happened here with 3D and why people got burnt out on it. Like, when Clash of the Titans came out, there weren't that many 2D screenings. Like, yeah, I think where we were living, yeah, that was still at least a possibility, but 60% of ticket sales were, for that fucking movie in 3D, and then, well, 3D screens actually didn't go up at that point yet, but
those were all the movies back
Yeah,
then,
like
though.
I mean,
Like
but
now
now though
they've
it's
they've
like
realized.
now like even
We've
fucking
audiences got
yeah.
smart.
Although for like
We
some right
realized.
movies, like some like Gravity, there were some places where like 2D screens were incredibly limited for that. Even for fucking Star Wars, like
Well, it's
it was
like,
actually
well,
more
why the
difficult to
fuck
find a
would
2D
you?
showing for that.
Why would you want to watch Avatar or Gravity or Kubo and the Two Strings
I'm talking
or?
about though the way that it's distributed, and like that's
Well,
how
I'm just
studios
saying
are doing it there.
those kind of movies. There's certain movies that have to be made or have to be seen in 3D because that's the way they were made. The Martian, not necessarily, but yeah, like it would be cool if this is what they should do. If it's post converted, they're no. No more post conversion. And if it's a 3D movie, you have to watch it in 3D.
No,
Yes.
I still like the option.
There shouldn't be an option, is what I'm saying, though. Like,
No,
if
no,
you
options are
film the
always
thing,
good, but like yes,
your option should be at home.
Yeah.
Like, if you shot the thing with a 3D camera, if you marketed it as, oh, it's in 3D, for instance, The Jungle Book, amazing in 3D.
even though it's post
I'm,
converted.
ha- even though it was post converted, even still, great in 3D. It's not really post conversion when 95% of what's on screen is digital. If it's created digitally, you can convert it easily.
Yeah, still,
Okay,
but that's like taking
it's-
the lazy route. Like, can you at least not use the live action camera to fucking like just have a 3D rig? I mean,
Why?
that'd be so much easier.
When you're putting everything that you film and creating it in CG, that would just make the process of overlaying harder. It would make more rendering. Like a Pixar movie, any 3D animated movie, the reason why you can see it in 3D is because they literally made a 3D model, and that's exactly what they did
Yeah.
with Jungle Book. If it wasn't for the fact that there was a singular boy in the Jungle Book, it would have been the exact same process. It's just you had to say it's quote unquote post converted. Like it was a natural progression, and it's fine. Like I've seen a lot of 3D this year. Now that I actually think about it, Kubo and the Two Strings, Jungle Book, Suicide Squad. I think there's another one in there. Ghostbusters. I saw Star Wars in 3D. I'm in
Did you see
checking.
Warcraft
No, I
in
think
3D?
did. I no, I saw it in XD. I didn't see it in 3D. But I've seen like more 3D this year than I've ever seen in a given year. I believe that I paid for. Okay.
I just
And
haven't
it's-
really spent the money.
Even post
don't find the need
is
to.
good. Even post conversion is good now. It's really weird. I think it's because no one makes post conversions that and you know like kind of like the Chinese audiences now that are getting wise. We realized after so many years like fuck them, and now the studios only do it if they can trick us.
Well, I mean, like
And they-
post conversions can be good. Like I can see how shots in Suicide Squad have good depth in them, but the necessity for the type of movie that it is, I just don't see it. I don't see how
I
it
think
really
the
enhances it.
better parts in that film in 3D were the opening, the intros, the candy coated intros.
it's just
The
stuff
way
like
that those overlays were used really well in 3D.
Yeah.
I don't really remember anything else in that film. Like my favorite thing about 3D is something coming out of the screen. I like the Z factor.
See, I'm the opposite. I like looking inward.
Well, everything looks inward.
That's one of the
that's a
reasons
given.
why I've loved Final Destination in 3D.
Yeah, shit coming out at you, or like Saw in
fuck
3D, I would assume, or Mad Max Fury Road, that final 20 minutes where you get it in a big bad way.
That was only one
every
shot,
time-
really, for that movie, though.
It's two shots, but yeah, it was one kick-ass shot.
Like they play around with aspect ratios and stuff coming out of it in that, which was pretty cool. But yeah,
that like final shot in 3D makes watching the whole movie in 3D worth it. Oh man.
yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I like looking into like when I'm watching Mad Max, I like seeing the vastness of the desert and seeing how far back that can go. Not necessarily all the shit that's coming at me.
Well, it depends on the event. Like if you're watching an action movie, if I'm watching something like Transformers, I want stuff coming out at me. If I'm watching a scary movie, definitely like I want that jump factor. I want it to potentially scare me. Like it would be really cool. I think I've seen it in a movie before, maybe not. Where like imagine like it would have been really cool in Star Wars, but imagine someone like had a flashlight and they were shining it towards out at the audience, and you could literally see it like that. That would be so cool. That would be amazing. Like Star Wars should do something like that in Episode 8 with the lightsaber, or maybe in Rogue One or something. Fuck the New York Times. We'll move on. Here's the final piece in VR right here. China has this exoskeleton glove they're working on right now called the Dexmo in production that aims to mimic touch and feel in VR and AR. And so this is a step forward from the upcoming Manu VR, which is like basically it's a power glove. It's a glove that you put on that you can control things. And then there's like Leap Motion, which also has hand tracking. And then also like even PlayStation, a patent was found this week that they're working on something similar. Okay, so people are trying to find ways to control things with their hands, but this exoskeleton thing, Dexmo, is gonna simulate touch. It's gonna allow you to at least kind of pretend that you're actually feeling things or things are feeling you. And it's like a big, bulky, weird looking thing. You can see pictures of it, or at least like, I don't know if they're real, but maybe they're like internal, whatever. It doesn't matter. It looks stupid. It doesn't matter because you're going to be in VR anyway. So I'm not sure exactly how it works, but yeah, the sensation of someone touching you. Like, this is something that I was thinking about earlier this week. I was watching footage of Drive Club VR and looks pretty cool. I think I really want it. And I was thinking about it and I did some research. They make steering wheels already for video games that have force feedback. Like they vibrate when you go over different kinds of paving. You know, like when you're in the car, like you're going over a bump,
Yeah.
like you can feel it in the steering wheel. When the road is fucked up, you can feel it. You know, all that stuff, you can feel it. When your tires are bad,
And that
anything.
stuff's been around
Speed
forever.
yeah. And so they have the force feedback in steering wheels isn't new. But I was thinking about this. I was like, that could be an investment I want to do. Buy for the real fancy steering wheel that has that. So because it's kind of like you're doing VR, but it's not in 3D kind of thing. It's like, well, if I'm watching in 3D, if I'm hearing it in 3D, and yet I don't feel the controller doing anything, then what's the point? And so I was like, yeah, if I'm going down the simulated driving road, I want that. So that was just something I was looking at. I was like, it's kind of the same thing here. So I don't, who knows how long, like, it's skunkworks basically. Like, this is the kind of stuff where people wouldn't even be buying this stuff for like 2 years or so when VR actually booms. Cause it's predicted by the end of this year, like something crazy, like $22 billion or whatever the hell it is, or maybe that's next year. It's going to be a very profitable market in the very, very near future, but it's not going to be consumer, everyone, street level. I want it for Christmas, and parents will buy it, mind you, probably for another year or two. Like that, this next generation of VR, when most people are going to wait for it, besides me, like that's when all these doohads and doohickeys and how cool this is. Like they already have this stuff. Like you can buy a vest that you wear, and say you're like playing Call of Duty, you can feel the gunshots.
That's a
And
little excessive. I mean,
But I can
like,
see the
I'm, I
appeal.
mean, I'm
No,
all
it's like
for
at
it,
least
but I mean, no, I mean, absolutely.
maybe like a
But
bullet
it's
break,
like,
just
I think it's
something,
that
some sort of
vest.
sensation there to make you feel like you're there.
like that's one
mean-
use of that. Like the other use is there's this game coming out called Res Infinite, which is like a remaster basically of this Res game that was on Dreamcast and PS2. And it's a rhythm game that has shooting. And so the first time they showed it off, I think it was at TGS or CES. They showed off in the recent past. They had like a full suit like that, so you could feel the rhythm of the song you're playing, so you don't mess up. Basically, it's like a more immersive rhythm game, and so you could do the same kind of thing that way. And then these hand controllers, it could be used that way too. Like who's to say what it is? Like probably what it's gonna be is VR porn, and that way when you're touching tits, they feel real. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
If I bought it,
I
that's
mean-
what it's for.
I'm just like thinking about it. It's like, would you rather how you use this vest for playing Call of Duty, or would you rather use the vest for when you're playing Batman VR and you're going blow for blow with a Bane?
Well, that's not. You should do some research on Batman VR. What it is.
Well, I know that.
It's a
I know
1 to
exactly
2
what
hour.
Batman VR is. It's a detective game, basically.
Exactly.
First
Yeah.
and
There's gonna
foremost.
be
I
there's gonna be
understand
no
that.
fighting.
Yeah,
I really hope that they
understand
put in a section that's like side, not part of the detective story, where it's like you can drive the Batmobile in VR. That cool. Because it's only
No.
$20. Like it can't be a lot of content. I think it's just gonna be the solve the mystery thing, which,
I
like I
think
said,
it's
I
going to
already
be a
paid.
couple mysteries at least.
No, I think it's a singular mystery. I think it's like because I've already read. So I don't want to read too much because I've already read a spoiler that I won't talk about. But like I think it starts off in the Batcave and you're putting on the suit and the cowl and everything, and the gloves, and then you go to a crime scene and you're trying to solve it, and then like, oh, you go back to the Batcave, and you're like now like working with the clues to try to figure things out, and then maybe there's like another place. But it's a full retail game that's getting a physical release, and it's only $20. Nothing's ever that cheap. Like it has to be like it's supposed to be like you play it normal length, it's like an hour and a half, maybe. It's
Yeesh.
just it's something to get your feet wet because that I have this theory. You know how the DualShock 4 the battery dies like way too fast, like 5 hours maximum.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Sony made the battery life that short, so when you're in VR, you can't play it for too long.
That would make sense.
It was like an intentional thing. It was like, well, if the battery's dead, they can't ruin their eyes, basically.
But then again, you can still play the controller when it's plugged in. What's going to prevent the VR
Right.
from being plugged in?
Yeah, I already plug my controller in like 90% of the time, so it's not going to stop me, but it could stop a lot of people. It's just, it's
Yeah.
like, it's a funny theory. It's not real. I highly doubt that's what it is.
Yeah.
But this is the end of the show. This is where we talk about the cool stuff. There's not a lot here. We don't even have to mention it. This is the car stuff, Steve, so it doesn't really matter. The only real thing that I really want to talk about is this one. Murder mysteries you guys talked about without me. Ben Affleck doing witness of the
I
prosecution.
figured you really wanted to talk about that.
Agatha Christie, big time lady. BBC is continuing the trend that I predicted over a year ago. They're going to be adapting 7 of her works for TV over the next 4 years. They aired, and then there were none this last Christmas. They have their own version of Witness to the Prosecution coming out in the coming months. So, with the Ben Affleck version that's coming, Kenneth Branagh's Murder on the Orient Express at Fox, plus there's competing biopics out there. There's a Clue remake, Girl on the Train, coming out in a couple of weeks. Like, it's cemented now. Like, the murder mystery is 100% back. Like, with Batman, Arkham VR, and shit like that, like, it's here. Like, musicals are next. Like, La La Land could be the one
Like,
that
it's
makes them
getting
happen.
made, but is it going to make money? And that's something that time still has to tell.
I don't know about the Agatha Christie stuff, but Girl on the Train is almost guaranteed to make money. Because all the people that saw Gone Girl, I would assume, are going to go see this. And
That's also, it's based on a book too, right? So it
Yeah,
has
they're
that
both-
going for it.
both adapted from bestseller novels. So, yeah, no, I guarantee. Well, I mean, obviously, you don't have David Fincher, you don't have Ben Affleck, you don't have Rosamund Pike, but just the cast that is involved on this one, and then plus it already has a built-in audience. There's enough out there that, yeah, like there's not. Maybe what it is, it's just like this is making all the people that watch CIS and NCIS happy. It's like, oh, we've been watching these shows for so long. Because I really wish we had a show like Monk again, or like like Columbo. Like, why don't we have a sleuth show anymore? Like, why doesn't that exist? It would be Max Landis is working on the Dirk Gently show, which is a detective show. But so I guess that too. I didn't even piece that together before. So there is enough out there. I think mystery is the new trend. Like westerns came back in a minor way a couple years ago. There was like 5 westerns that came out last year. We had the Magnificent Seven coming out like in a month or two. Like they're still making those. Musicals are like the last genre that's dead. Like the event movie's still here, it's just superheroes instead, or they try to make Ben-Hur, which didn't work.
Really big mistake there because no one cares about a remake of that movie.
No.
Yeah.
And not to mention the version of Ben-Hur that we were thinking of is a remake.
Yeah.
And an adaptation.
Well, yeah,
So-
absolutely. I mean, it's just that now, that Charlton Heston version, it's so iconic that's the one that people think of. And so, like, when you're making a remake like that, it just, yes, you can get away by calling it another adaptation, but it's just, there's no mistaking it that visually it looks way too closely tied to that old version. And it's just, why?
Can't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Or the chariot, I guess. You just can't. Like it's not possible.
I mean, it's like, there's probably other cinematic versions of Noah's Ark that, are out there that the Darren Aronofsky one feels like a Darren Aronofsky film. This remake of Ben-Hur, even though it's Timur, I can never pronounce his name, but I love Wanted. But, I mean, shit, like...
Oh, Timur...
I can never say the name, so I'm not going to butcher it. But seriously, it's like, why? Like, really, just why?
It's in the same way that Guardians of the Galaxy, everyone's like, oh, this is kind of like Star Wars.
But it's not at all like Star Wars.
Came out,
that's the thing.
Well,
it's still...
From a visual standpoint, it is. Like, there's Star Trek, which is very different.
Wait,
I'm not even
from
talking
a
about
visual
the Star Trek.
standpoint, how?
Just the fact that you have these ships flying around and the powers. It's just not like visually, but there's enough there that if you'd never seen Guardians of the Galaxy and you try to explain it to someone, you would undoubtedly bring up Star Wars. You just would. Like it seems like the same kind of
I
thing.
think that just
And when
because it's a
Star Wars
go-to
came out,
comparison, but that kind of undermines it because
yeah,
Guardians is still its own thing that's separate from
what I
that.
was gonna say is when Star Wars came out, people said the same thing. It was like, oh, it's like Buck Rogers.
Yeah,
Like
well, mainly George Lucas.
the pop culture, not even pop culture, but just culture in general, is going to be reminded of something else. You know, there's only so many kinds of stories. There's only so many kinds of movies. You
Hmm.
can only make something look so many different ways that you're gonna be stuck a certain
It's
way.
like going back to this,
And
like some like Ben-Hur, that's iconic. Agatha Christie, like as much as I love And Then There Were None, like unless you're reading that in middle school, I don't think it's that iconic necessarily to a massive audience. Like you could still,
it doesn't
yeah,
have to be
you can
iconic.
remake
It's
that
just
and sell it to
it's
somebody.
a story. No, there's
But
tons
that's why I'm
and
saying
tons
it
and
probably
tons
has
of
more commercial appeal. Is you can easily recycle that without some people knowing it.
I don't care about that. That's one that I would love to get another version of that.
Yeah, no, I'm cool
That's
with
just
that,
one of those
absolutely.
movies. It's a great story. It makes for a great movie, and there's something about a mystery, unless your audience is a dick and they ruin it for someone, where it's really the only kind of film where you don't know what's going to happen at the end. If you watch a romantic comedy or a superhero movie or a western, you know something's going to happen. It's like, oh, the guy gets the girl, the guy saves the day. Like the cowboy rides
Yeah.
away with
It's
his
like
girl. Like,
Kindergarten Cop, right?
yeah, no, I knew exactly where the fuck
Exactly.
that movie
That's
was
my
going.
point.
Like, movies are like that. With a mystery, that's not the case, and that's why I love them because unless you've seen it before, chances are you're gonna be impressed or surprised. It makes you think. Like, it's the smart man's movie, and I'm excited. I'm excited that they're coming back because I don't know why they were absent for so long. Like we've always had thrillers,
Hmm.
and some of them have had mysterious components, but we haven't had like I'm not saying twist ending, but like we haven't had something where it's like, oh, did you see that? I can't believe that's how it ended. Like even Gone Girl was that to an extent, but we haven't really had something like that in a while. Like Memento, I guess maybe. I think that's the biggest one in recent history, and that was forever ago.
Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah.
I
long
can't
time
I
ago.
can't think of another big mystery
I mean,
besides like Sherlock Holmes. Okay, not like
Yeah,
that. I mean that doesn't even
like
count.
everything I think of is more of a twist ending than an actual mystery, honestly. But I mean,
I mean
that's really the best I can think of is that we've had surprises as far as mysteries and trying to figure out what's going
Yeah.
on. No, not really.
As I said, like on TV, like the mystery game just works perfectly on TV. That's why you got like and their movies, mind you, but the BBC Sherlock stuff, um, and like I said, like Monk and Columbo and stuff like that, all the gumshoe stuff, like that's perfect for TV. Like you got a detective, you know who he is, he's on the case, you always know who he is. Here's how he's going to solve this one. On to the next one, on to the next one. But in a movie, yeah, I can't. I guess we got a Clue remake, like and even Clue's not a mystery in that way. I can't. No, I don't know.
Just I really, as
Memento.
far as it being cemented as a trend, I'm not going to agree or disagree. Whatever it is, man, I hope it's good.
The John C. Riley, Will Ferrell, Sherlock
Yeah,
Holmes
we
movie.
talked about that too, but
Proof. It's like imagine that's a remake of Sherlock Holmes' younger brother or something like that, or like Sherlock Jr. It's like
the Buster Keaton one.
yeah, it's like the historical comedic timing of Sherlock
That's
Holmes.
more likely. I want to see that too, though.
Like Sherlock
Yeah.
Jr. Yeah, I haven't. Well, that could be at cinema. I
We
haven't
still
seen
have
that.
not done a silent flick yet.
It's because
for
You've seen The
what,
General,
the Buster
right, Brian?
Keaton one?
No, yeah, I've seen the
Okay.
General. I saw the General in high school. That's his only film that I've seen in like feature length that I've seen. No, I haven't seen a lot of Silence. Like we have a lot of territory to cover if we do that on the show. But yeah,
There's a
the
lot of
things that
great
didn't make
ones,
the
yeah.
show. Joe Swanberg has his own distribution company now. Yay, who the fuck cares? And Amazon is getting into the car business. Cool stuff. Thanks for listening. Hope it was a pleasure. It was a long show, longer than normal. Thank you for being on the show, Blake. If you liked him, you can listen to him on Death to Cinema for Kindergarten Cop. We do this every week. We're all over the internet. Facebook, Twitter, @DollarReviews. You can send us an email. You can send us whatever you want. Just leave a comment, do whatever you want to do. Like it, favorite it, tell your friends, print out flyers, put them on your homes. Hope it's been a pleasure.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.